I know you're eating, V knows you're eating, chat knows you're eating, the entire world knows you're eating, Dev.
Oh, is stream already going?
There is nobody on this planet who is not aware of your penchants for devouring vast quantities of food.
Okay, that's right. Well, sorry about that, but I'm here. I'm not late. It's 4:00, right? Like
Yeah.
it's. Did you just start?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Anyway, Arch, look over what I DM'd you. Okay.
I
I
don't
don't
know
know
about that, Dev.
if you want to make it. If you don't want to make that public, it's fine. But I want to do it.
I'll look at them when I can make something out of it.
Okay. Well, also I sent you the raid target for tonight too. But okay, how's it going, guys? What's up? Hi, Arch. Hi, V.
Hello. I want to ask a question, Arch. You seen? Well, actually, you did play the Star thingy, the Bethesda game.
Starfield, yes.
Yes, right.
Yep.
Every single time I say that the characters look like horse shit, there is a extreme amount of copium coming from our people, Arch, from our chats combined. Because I see that they're following your channel as well, and they're like, "But it's a Bethesda game. It's supposed to look like shit." And I'm like, okay, Mass Effect. Look. Mass Effect 3, right? It came out 15 years ago. Why? And it had 20% of this game's budget, and fewer people working on it. Why is the gameplay and the story, with controversy aside, gameplay, story, everything about that game, why is it better? Like, how can you use the brand of a company, it's a Bethesda game, to justify that it looks like shit? Like why is that a thing, Arch?
I can give you an answer if you want, but you're asking Arch.
Oh, fucking God, I'm going to freak out if I hear your answer. Like, it's
question.
God damn it, V. Go ahead, Arch.
Mostly, it's an engine issue, because the Bethesda engine is not good at characters. It's really not good at characters. It never has been. Like, in Morrowind, they kind of accidentally looked okay, at least some of the time, mostly because it was relatively, low poly. But the moment they hit Oblivion, etc., the engine just can't handle faces. They all look like Play-Doh shit, and Bethesda refuses to upgrade it because, well, that costs money.
While I understand that, it had 6 times the budget of Mass Effect. Okay? 6 times the budget. And a bigger development team.
Mm-hmm.
There is no justification for why a game in 2023 needs to look like horseshit. Dave, you want to justify it. I hear the shackle. I hear the shackle coming from the Canadian side, and I have a feeling you want to go on, justify it.
No, I mostly agree with Arch, actually.
Yeah, but again, if you have an engine, look, if you have a car that has been made 50 years ago, and when you're driving, it goes like you would think that you should change the engine.
Well, Creative Assembly would disagree.
Here, give me 30 seconds, okay? Keep talking about Bethesda.
See, this is an entirely common problem. It's the same with Total War, right? Because the Total War's current engine, which was made for Empire, was made primarily because Creative Assembly wanted to neuter modding, because it was, making stuff that they could charge for. And the engine just isn't good enough. Like, it doesn't handle units well, it doesn't handle collision well, it doesn't handle formation well. The AI is still hidebound by rules introduced for Empire, Total War, etc., etc. And it's ruining their series. Like, Total War Pharaoh was an abject disaster. The Shadows of Change DLC was an abject disaster. They've now had to come out and retroactively cut to the cost of these games to try and, get some form of credibility back. And it's partially laziness, it's partially expense, and it's partially because I don't know if these companies are capable of making engines like they did. Because back in the day, you remember when we grew up, they made a new engine for pretty much everything. Like, every game had an engine made specifically for that game.
Like, I
maybe
can tell
maybe
you from the
not
game.
every game, but I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can tell you from the game development side, right? Like, I chose the engine where you can buy, but please don't install my game, just buy. And the advantage of like having a pre-made engine, it kind of saves you like 2 years of development time. Kind of like that. It's like you just want something. It's kind of like an editor for videos. Like that's what the engine is.
Yep.
Think about it like a video editor, right? But it comes a point like if you have the budget and you have the manpower that Bethesda does, there's no fucking reason why you can't upgrade your engine.
Well, it
And
is.
even then, you can use Unreal 4 engine. Like just take a commercial one. You know, like if you're not going to do it, just stop using the old shit. Because, all right, I've been having like this conversation on Twitter where, let me see if I can find it. Just finish your idea first, and I'll show you a video.
Well, I can tell you what I was gonna say. I got it all set up for it.
Yep.
Alright.
go on.
Okay, I sent you a link, Arch. Well, it's in the link channel.
Mhm.
And the title is Bethesda thought it was infallible before Fallout 76 launch, says a former design director. There
Yeah.
was nothing we couldn't do. This happens a lot, right? You have a company that has hit after hit after hit, legitimately good games, even if they're kind of janky, like Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Skyrim, even Fallout 4 to an extent. They were janky games. They were pretty fun. You know, people enjoyed them. People liked playing these games, and there's definitely a thin line between a game that is, you know, janky but beloved and a game that is just bad, and it's kind of a hard line to straddle sometimes. But Bethesda, for all the Bethesda jankiness, it still made games that people loved, right? And I think that's what people say. Like when you mentioned that they say, "Oh, it's Bethesda. It's supposed to be like this. It's Bethesda." What they're appealing to is the idea of making a game that is a bit buggy, a bit goofy, rough around the edges, but has some spirit to it, right? And you could say some of the older Bethesda games were actually like that. However, after Fallout 76, it was gone, and that was a combination of like old talent leaving, a bunch of new people being brought in who couldn't really do anything, you know, the company just bloating,
the
having
question.
way too many
Fire is
people,
the
not
answer.
doing enough stuff. I mean, it is the same thing that happened with BioWare. That's why they're not making any good Mass Effects anymore, right? Like, no one says Mass Effect Andromeda is a good game. It's a fucking terrible game, even though Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 are beloved, right? So there's definitely a situation where a lot of companies go through a life cycle of making really good games, whether they're just high quality or they're janky but people love them, and then they jump the shark and then they stop making good games.
You know,
And
I
I mean,
unironically have to wonder now if Mass Defect Andromeda 4 would come out last year, would it actually win Game of the Year? And
I
it's
don't think
not.
so,
No,
no.
I'm like, my point isn't that it's a good game. My point is that we have games that don't even launch. Like last year, there were 4 major releases that you couldn't even start. They had to release like the company, you know, that they released like those black letters, black backgrounds with white letters, where they're like, "We're so sorry, we're so sorry, game doesn't work, we're so sorry," and it's like, dude, you took my
Fucking
money.
Gollum, yeah.
You took my fucking. It was Gollum. It was Forspoken.
Yep.
And there were like 2 more.
Redfall and
Redfall. Yeah.
and the King Kong game, yeah.
I mean, this
They were
is the
all
absolute
awful.
state. It's not that they were awful. It's that they were awful and you couldn't launch them. Like there were people that literally could not play the game. Like it would crash.
Heresy's
It
the
wouldn't
question.
enter. It's
Fire is the answer.
and Baldur's Gate, by the way. Like a lot of people say it's Game of the Year. When it came out, many computers couldn't run Act 3. Like you'd go
Yep.
to Act 3 and it would
I mean,
crash.
it has been fixed by now, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it was fixed, right? But like, it's not acceptable. Like this, dude. Like, I
No, I agree
don't
with you, I
think
agree with
this
you, yeah.
ever happened when I was a kid. Like, you'd get a game on a CD, right?
Mhm.
And you expected that everything worked, all the acts worked. There was absolutely no issues. That like the idea that you buy it now, it's patched later, it just didn't exist.
Here's the thing, right? People were complaining about this in the 2000s, where you'd buy a game like on a DVD at GameStop, they'd bring it home, and it would need a day one patch. It's like, what the fuck? Shouldn't the game be running out of the box? And yeah, you know what? It probably should be running out of the box, but I will take a game that is fixed over a game that is abandoned, right? like Cyberpunk 2077 was a no, yes, V, yes.
No, I know,
So
I know what you're saying, but no,
yeah.
both are unacceptable. No,
Both are unacceptable, but one is clearly worse than the other.
that
Right?
doesn't matter. No, they're both
Sure, it
like below
does.
the level of acceptability. No, no, I know what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
No,
no,
I get
I
it.
get it.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah.
yeah, I get it. You would rather have the dirty water from the gutter rather than the water that's from the sewer. I would rather have neither. Like no.
Yes. Yeah, no, I get it. But here's the thing, though. Like, if you go back and play Cyberpunk now, it's actually a pretty good game. But it took them several years to get there. And the question is, why didn't you just wait several years to actually make it better? Which is actually a good
Well,
question. They should have done that, right?
Well, I
there's
know
a thing
why.
there. I don't think it's possible because there's an interesting discussion to be had here, which kind of leaps onto the idea that we're getting worse at things. We're actually getting dumber, unironically, and every generation looks at the following one and goes like, God help us all, But I think we have good reason to do so, and it is in large part in video game particularly because the skill has disappeared. Like, look at Fallout New Vegas, right? One of the great Fallout games. It was a product of as much improvisation and mad rush as anything. Like, they barely knew what they were going to make. They barely knew how to make it. They didn't really know how the editor worked. They didn't really know how the story would pan out. They didn't really know if the engine could even handle, like, New Vegas, the massive city, and so on. And they had to make almost everything up on the fly. They had to continuously improvise. And this, in the long run, creates better game designers. When you have to find workarounds, when you need to figure out how to make things function, you learn things, you become a better craftsman. Whereas today, one of the issues with like pre-made game engines, as great as they are for letting more people get into game creation, it makes people lazy. We now have, like, Bethesda has 400, 500 employees. Creative Assembly has 800 employees. And yet they consistently create products of lower quality than those made by 30 dudes.
Yep, that's all true. I mean, well, you have one thing wrong there, Arch, and it's that the story of New Vegas was shelved for like 15 years. They knew exactly where that story was going from the beginning, because it was supposed to be the original Fallout 3 before the company before Bethesda went
No,
bankrupt.
they didn't use that one. That one had China invading the United States, and they had like new suits,
No.
which made them invisible and turned them crazy.
No. Fallout Van Buren was the story of the Legion, and it was set in the same area as Las Vegas. Like it was the same story, and they brought back Chris Avallone to revive the original Fallout 3
Like
story of New Vegas.
I am pretty sure that when I check, I mean, I'm willing to look after the stream, but I'm pretty sure like Fallout 3 was supposed to Van Buren, the one that you're talking about.
Yeah, Van Buren, yeah.
Yeah, it had like Chinese agents that were using stealth suits rather than like power armor. They had like their own version of armor, but it made them insane. And it's also
could be a plot that they didn't use, but it definitely had the Legion, and it definitely had the conflict with the NCR. Like that was a main part of Van Buren.
Okay. But anyway, right? No, you're. I mean, I get what you're saying. That making a new engine is hard, but
it would make for a better game studio.
You know, I was watching Star Wars, and there's like this scene. Do you remember where the Mary Sue, the cardboard box,
right?
She runs. Yeah, she runs in the desert, and she's got the Force Dyad coming after her with the spaceship. And she's jumping over the spaceship, and she's sliding the spaceship into. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Right. And I was saying, you know what that scene would need? A panty shot. And everyone laughs. Like, hey, you're a pervert. You're no, but like, listen to me. At least if you show me a panty shot, my brain switches off. Right? Like at that point, I don't have to try to understand anything, and I would be like, okay, so you had that scene in just to please the audience. It's just for fan service. Because when you think about it, the entire universe has to be dumbed down in order for that scene to work. You need to have Raylo in a spaceship refusing to open fire on her, just trying to run her down as if he's driving a car. And people say, well, he wanted her alive. And it's like, well, then why did he want to run her over? And he has to drive at a small enough speed so that she can do the backflip and shit. And it's like, okay, if my brain functions, I can't enjoy this. Show me a panty shot. it's the same with Bethesda. It's like, if you want me to enjoy your shit game, just show me some cool graphic. Just switch my brain off. Just make me think, all right, here's a titty V. Just stop thinking about it. Activate your little brain, like your lizard brain or whatever. Just stop thinking about it. That they don't want to do that. I don't get it. It's like
Well-
you have a choice. Either you make good stories that make sense, or you just show some fan service,
It's
and then
in
people switch.
part because you can't make graphics that good anymore. Like, we've pretty much reached the cap.
Well, they can't, to be
of-
honest.
No,
graphical
they
fidelity.
can't, dude. Arch, that you didn't see then.
You can definitely make better graphics than what was in Starfield.
There was a graphic. So there was a video game, Arch. I'm pretty sure you heard about it. You play as a cop, and it looks so realistic that it's like a movie. Like you can't tell that it's not something. Like okay, if you put it on CNN, it looks like an actual footage.
Yes, but those
That's how
aren't
realistic.
graphics.
What are they?
They've literally taken a real-life setting and they've scanned it into the game, basically. It's an entirely different way of making games, and it wouldn't be realistic in this way. You'd need to, like, create sets, basically. I know the one you're talking about.
But like, think about it this way, right? Like Spider-Man 3 has $350 million budget.
Yeah, but the issue is you can't really push graphics all that much further. Not with modern-day hardware. We've pretty much reached the
No,
edge
I
of what
get
we
it.
can
I
achieve.
get it. But like you don't have to make like a Bethesda game. You don't have to make an RPG. You just make like something that's limited, like Resident Evil. You're in a house, and you make the set, and it looks really realistic and stuff.
Yeah, potentially.
I mean, yeah, like it's. I really don't like the argument. It's like,
But
we
then they
reached
would
the
still
limit
need
of
to
blah,
make
blah,
a new engine. Here's the issue. They can't. They don't have the skills anymore to do that.
You think that's the issue? But you know what?
Yep.
I will say this. The woke ideology, which is incredibly downplayed, right? Doesn't believe in meritocracy. Like literally, it believes that meritocracy is evil, and they hire people based on the cock and the pussy. It's like, who do you fuck? Okay, you're hired. How did your parents fuck? What is your pedigree? What is your heritage? And that is it. So they will actively fire people that are talented, or they will refuse to hire people that are talented. And of course, the games are buggy. And this is what go woke, go broke means. It's not just the story. It's that the games are buggy. They're shitty. They don't work on launch. And as you say, they don't have the people to create an engine.
They don't have the people who can make things work. And this is due to just a general babification of society, which does lead us very nicely into the first proper topic of the day, the virtual rape. And I just want to add in a disclaimer here, now that we're safely deep inside of the video.
Question. Fire is
If
the
anyone
answer.
in the chat feels that they have been raped today by myself, V, or Dev, well, you have no recourse. We are legally protected. Even if you are to be impregnated via the internet this evening, I will not recognize the child. So there you go. That's the legal disclaimer.
That news, and I also read another news from another journalist, which said that she also got raped in VR, and it was horrifying. And you know what the counter argument is to that, and it just makes them really angry, and they can't articulate why. It's like, okay, if rape in VR is so horrible, then how about we get a jail in VR, and people who rape in VR go to VR jail, right?
Anytime you log
seriously,
in,
like,
you just can't. You can't do
now,
anything.
I want to point out something regarding. Okay, so the news article describes that apparently, like, someone that's under 16 was using the Metaverse VR, and allegedly someone sexually assaulted her in the Metaverse. So now actual cops, like actual police officers, are investigating. Now, they didn't mention what happened. And there is like one thing that could have happened, which I would understand. Like, if you know that a person is a minor over the internet, so let's take the VR out of the equation. Let's say that's on Discord, right? And you know that a person is a minor and you start sending them porn. Like, that will get a knock at the door from the police, right?
I don't know if you can do that in the metaverse.
I don't
You
know
can.
either. I don't know either, because I don't use that shit. I mean,
No, you can.
I'm
you
looking.
can.
You can show like a penis to a person.
So what you can actually do is you can set up like a wall in a virtual environment that will play a YouTube video or play like a website, and you can go to porn using that.
Okay, So if that happened, right? Like if you know that a person over the internet is underage and you show them pornography, then in that situation, I would say that yes, the police can be involved, and I wouldn't call it. But like the way the newspapers present it's like you've been raped in VR. No, it should be like they exposed a minor to pornography over the internet.
Well,
Right? Like obscene
there's the
things.
thing.
Yeah.
The term rape in and of itself has joined the ranks of many other words like Nazi and racist
Yes.
in meaning
I mean,
absolutely nothing.
It would 100% not be rape. It would be exposing a minor to indecent movies or something like that.
See,
Whatever like Britain calls it.
Well, actually, hold on. Did you guys see the video of this happening?
No.
I did.
Okay, what happened?
Basically, the girl was standing there with her avatar, and a guy like walked up and started saying lewd stuff to her and started like grabbing the tits on her avatar.
Did he know that she's a minor?
I don't know. He just like he just like runs into the frame and just immediately starts fondling her because it looks like a girl.
I mean,
Rape indeed.
like
There you go.
again, yeah, but like again, you know, if you're on Discord, then there's the minor, right? Like you know that they're underage, and you start saying inappropriate stuff to them. Like you're doing like the funny role play. It's like I grab your tits, LOL, or stuff like that, right? Many countries would consider that illegal.
We're
So
going to
the
have to
question is,
ban
like-
about 98% of World of Warcraft accounts, but besides that...
Kinda, yeah, yeah. But like the thing is, that wouldn't be like VR related. Like that's not how you behave, right? The question is like, did the guy know that she's underage or not?
Well, it doesn't matter. Not really, because again, it's not rape. Like,
Oh no, definitely not rape.
I
No,
don't
but
even know if you can... Like, showing pornography to a minor, I suppose there's some sort of criminal activity there, I guess. Like, we've made everything else illegal, so why haven't we come up with a specific law against this, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that it's rape, definitely. Especially, I mean, first of all, like rape has to be physical, but secondly, like you can take the VR headset off, right? Like that is.
Well,
That's why the VR jail is a ridiculous notion, because you can just take or shut down the thing.
well, what they're doing here, that's quite interesting, is a girl was allegedly raped in the metaverse. Is this the beginning of a dark new future? Because, you know, you've got to crisis maximize this to hell and back for anyone to pay attention to it, right? But what they're focusing on isn't the aspect of rape as a physical thing at all. It's now the mental trauma. Meaning that, yeah, you can be raped in the metaverse. If you feel uncomfortable, well, you've been raped.
Well, if it was up to me, minors wouldn't be able to use social media. So there you go. You fixed the problem.
Indeed,
I
the social media ban.
I always hate the fact it's like, well, children are using this site, so we're going to have to take away your privacy because kids are using. Well, how about we make it so kids stop using it then?
You know, see, one of the problems is we keep limiting adults' freedoms and rights to protect children, whereas what we should do is take away children's rights.
Oh, unironically, right?
Yes.
Like they will. Yeah, they keep saying, "Oh my God, you know, like there's kids on Discord, so now we need to listen to all your private messages. Oh, there's kids on Discord, so therefore you need to blah blah blah." How about we make it so there's no more kids on Discord? How about that? Or make a Discord kids, and
No.
you have like a Discord for
That's just
YouTube
surrender.
has.
Revoke
YouTube has
all
YouTube Kids.
human rights from children. Property. Reduce them to property. And we have protection for properties. You can't damage property. You can't steal property. It's more than sufficient, okay? This is the solution to every problem. And again, this is just the feminization of society. Like, I don't like using that term because it's often broadly generalistic, etc. But God help me.
Longhouse.
This
Okay, hold on.
is the feminization of fucking history. Like, no man will be like, oh my God, a man touched my virtual junk. I'd be like, I've been raped.
The lunar cycle.
Absolutely yes. This is the lunar aspect right here. The
Okay, hold on. I managed to dig it up.
undeniable weakness of femininity.
Okay, here. I managed
For
to dig
those
it
of
up.
you who don't know, I was talking to Sargon one day and I was making fun of him using expressions that like even I stop understanding. It's like the longhouse, the lunar cycle. I'm like, what the fuck is that, dude? Sounds pretty cool, you know? Like you're in the forest, you see a moon, like why?
Okay, you might not want to play this on the stream. There's nothing lewd in it whatsoever, but just in case you get fucking nuked, it's a 30-second
like
clip.
that's okay.
Here,
That's
just watch this. Watch this.
no, hold on.
Watch it
That's
off
an interesting point. No, that's an interesting point, Dev. Right. So, if you're basically saying that is actual rape, why is it? Why is it being shown online? Right.
Yep. Why is it on Twitter?
Like if
Yeah, you just find
if it was an actual like if it's an actual rape of a person, you don't put it on Twitter and show it online. And the fact that it's allowed is that people know that it's not being taken seriously. That it is like just something that happened online. Now, again, like I do take it seriously in the sense that if you know someone is a minor, right? Like
Okay,
if you're aware someone is a
hold
minor
on,
over
hold
the
on.
internet.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, like if you know someone is a minor over the internet, you don't do lewd things to them. Like that is common fucking sense. You ban them like normal people. Every single time a minor interacts with me, I ban them immediately. I don't fucking care. Unless they're rich, okay? Like if their father died or their mother passed away, they left a big inheritance and they want to donate to my YouTube channel for my political career, then we can talk business. But other than that, no.
I know 4chan had basically like 4chan has written rules of you can't be underage if you're on 4chan, but they have like unwritten rules of you can be underage as long as you're not stupid enough to say that you're underage.
Wasn't
that
that
kind
like
of thing?
wasn't that the rule of the internet since we started?
Yep.
Kinda, yeah. Like that was
it
the
was
thing.
like that. It's like
The beauty of the gentleman's agreement. Like, okay, 14-year-old, you get to be here, you get to watch the porn, just don't do anything that betrays the fact that you're 14. This is an IQ test as much as anything.
Yep. So I just noticed, the video that I linked it says it's not the actual video, but it is like what happened basically. And in the video, you probably don't want to play it on, but yeah, a guy just runs in and like touches the tits of a female avatar.
Yes. And what I love
And
about this too
it's
is
so bullshit.
UK Home Secretary James Cleaver. Like, I fucking
Home
hate the fact
Secretary,
that
that's
exactly
that
what
is-
the
okay,
fuck
Yeah.
says
James
VR
cleverly.
child rape. No, there is no rape here. No children were damaged. There was no rape incident. Fuck you. Is a growing problem that needs to be taken. Really, is VR child rape a growing problem? I mean, sure, from zero to something. I guess.
What's even more funny is that the avatar of the guy that allegedly did it is black. So if the guy happens to be black in real life, I guarantee to you this story will drop off the face of the. You will never hear it mentioned again. It will never be reported. It will like this is my prediction.
The other thing too, you all remember the Grand Theft Auto thing. These graphics are eerily realistic. Well, listen to this. He goes on to say, "I know it's easy to dismiss this as being not real." Because it isn't. But the whole point of these virtual environments is they are incredibly immersive. Oh, yes.
Again,
Look at this
my
shit.
point.
Incredibly immersive.
Yes, Arch, my point. Just tell them, make a VR jail then. Just make a VR jail.
Go to
if
VR
it's
jail.
so fucking immersive, if it's so immersive, you have a VR police and you send the people who do bad things in VR, you send them to VR prison.
To VR jail.
So I know that you mentioned the Grand Theft Auto thing, Arch. We've talked about it before on this show. The chat's talking about it. I decided to look it up. It is now 10 years old.
Yeah.
It's been 10 years since we had the beginning of the virtual rape pandemic with GTA 5 online. Yeah.
Hackers rewriting code.
Hackers.
Okay, so I do want to
Simulated
point
rape.
out, by the way, this is now a side story of a side story, but there's no other time we're going to talk about this. We might as well talk about it now. The woman in the GTA 5 virtual rape controversy, she was a GameStop employee in Toronto. Well, that's Sam Maggs, okay? And after
she
this
works on Spider-Man. Yeah.
Well,
And
yeah,
then
after this
she went-
controversy, well, here's what happened though: is that 'cause I decided to look into her maybe a few months ago.
She went on Ratchet and Clank and ruined that game. I know.
Yep. This
Yeah.
controversy basically allowed her to like get into certain feminist writing spaces online, which she then used to like jumpstart a career. So she quit GameStop and now she like writes for various video games. However, she was made the head writer of the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake. She's like, I'm gonna be the main one, and she even said, I'm gonna make it all woke. She even like said shit like this. But then I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the Star
Yeah, it's
Wars Knights of the Old Republic has
yeah,
vanished
yes,
quietly. Like
yes.
Sony just quietly
Can you
deleted all the
imagine? Can you
trailers,
imagine? Like
quietly deleted all the tweets. It's just gone.
like I want to position myself into the shoes of that CEO that went to see the Star Wars game. You know, probably like some angry Japanese man. You know, that has like the resting bitch face expression that many Japanese businessmen do. And he's walking into the studio where Sam Banks has her creation, and he looks at the trailer, you know, and I wish I could see his face. Like I wish I could see his expressions, his, you know, like trying to comprehend what he's seeing in front of him. Because I'm willing to assume that if a person from Sony was exposed to something that he had to decline, like the levels of wokeness in that shit must have been way over. Well, that Vampire the Masquerade game that they were trying to make, which got shit canned as well. Why did the Vampire?
This chick spun this off
coming.
into a career. She's written for Marvel. She's been featured on tons of interviews. Literally, again, fuck me, but this is so unironically true. This is the lunar cycle. This is actually unironically the lunar cycle.
The lunar cycle.
No masculine society will look at this shit and go, oh yeah, this is a legitimate complaint. We need to deal with this.
Also, remember that she is Canadian, and you can blame Canadians for this if you want.
I will.
No, but the thing is, right? It is so obvious that she was lying. Like she's basically saying,
she's a GameStop employee.
She's on mainstream media, right? And she's saying that people in GTA can get raped, hackers rewriting code, undressing people's character, and violating them, right? Like, we all know how mods work. We all know that you have to install it on your computer and choose to play online. It's not like you're playing the video game and then hackers rewrite code. No, but she said that on the mainstream media. The reason people believed her 10 years ago is because 10 years ago, there were fewer people that were playing video games. So you're like a concerned mom, you know, a soccer mom, you're watching TV, you hear like, oh my God, hackers rewriting code. Are they doing that to my daughter? Right? But now we know that she was full of shit. She knows that she is full of shit. The industry knows that she is full of shit. And yet they promote her regardless.
Again.
And they put her in positions of authority.
Well, no, it's because that is how we were going at the time. Like, the entire point of feminism achieved nothing. It was given all of the power it whined for. It was the same with this. Everyone knew it was bullshit, but because a woman was like, me, we gave it to her. Again, this is the core issue with all of this, is the fact that we have allowed freedom to people that are, in this case, willing liars or retards. Like, no human being is like, oh, you were raped in virtual reality, were you? Oh yeah, that flies. That flies.
Well, if you look at the academia, the way social justice activists do things, they have a word called entryism. It's literally there. It's how they co-opt and subvert things and the tactics, right? And it has like several steps. The first step is to get into the space. So basically, it depends if the space is open to everyone, like your chat is, right? Or if you have to pay a ticket or something. So it may be easier not to get into the space. Once they get into the space, they demand changes to accommodate them. Like, this is the female space marine bullshit, right? Once you start accommodating them and you're entertaining the idea, then they demand a seat at the table. Shit. So now they want, like, for example, to have a say in the type of content you're making. Like they would be, okay, Arch, you know, we love your content. Like, these 20 videos are okay, but like this one video is really bad. Like, we don't want you to publish it, right? Then once you get that, they will want to have power at the table. So now they want executive decision. And once they have power at the table, they want to control the room. So they basically like decide who's allowed in and who's going to be kicked out, right? And what you're describing here, with like them whining to get that, it was like the point where they wanted a seat at the table, right?
Yeah. But I mean, this is the tactic. We all know the tactic. We all know why they're doing this and how they're doing this. The point is, we need to return to the world where we simply just fucking reject it out of hand. Simple
here's the
as.
thing.
Like, you don't need to argue, you don't need to explain, you don't need to debate them on theater about the mental damage. Like, just no.
Look
Here's
at what
the
they're
thing,
doing
though.
to anime. Like they're doing. Go on, Dev.
Well, we can do that, Arch. We can just reject them out of hand, but I mean, it still got her a career from someone else, right? Like she was a GameStop employee who was like a university student back when the GTA 5 thing happened, and now she's living in LA and writing for some of the biggest franchises in the world, right? It and also if it's kind of funny because you go back and look at her writing in like 2010. She's bisexual because that's what it was to be progressive in 2010, was to be a bisexual woman. And she was also saying that like the word queer was a slur against bisexual and lesbian and gay people, and no one talked about trans issues. Now that now that it's 2024, she's openly lesbian, she's non-binary, she's divorced her husband, and she's living in LA, and she's using queer to describe herself, right? So like as what is progressive has shifted, she has shifted along with it, even though it makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, if radical Islam comes to Canada, she would become like one of those people that are the.
Well, she's in America now, but yeah.
Yeah, that's bad. But like what I was trying to say. God,
Sorry. I guess what I mean, Arch, is basically that like, we the fans, we can reject this person and laugh at her and say, no, you're ridiculous. But there is now an apparatus that is built that can still funnel these people into a career where they make money.
Yes, but that's
it's not
that's
like
the thing.
our rejection isn't enough right now.
It is. Because here's the thing. Our rejection as a fandom is not enough, but we aren't trying to do this as a fandom. Like when I make videos, I'm doing so to add to the culture as a larger thing. Because there's the thing. Even if we're only talking to our own fans, etc., we are building a culture, all of us. We are changing things. The more people we reach, we are changing the overall culture. And it sounds grand, and it sounds like delusions of grandeur, etc., but that is exactly what we're doing. That's what they started doing with academia. We need to reach the point where it becomes the culture to simply say, no, this is ridiculous. You'll be laughed out of the room. And people like her, snakes, what will they become then? They'll become conservative Christians. That's what Sam Mags will be in 15 years.
This is why Arch is right. Like when they call people fascist, Nazis, whatever, they're not doing this in order to because they necessarily believe that the person is a fascist or Nazi. They're doing this to appeal to the larger culture, to the normies, to attack them.
Yes.
That's what they're doing, right? I see it now being done to anime. Like ever since Vice released that documentary trying to implicate and claim that all anime is pedophilia, or that it contributes to pedophilia. I see them doing it on Twitter, and they start like they demand that the space accommodates them, and they say, okay, well, lolly hentai is bad, so it should be banned. And people go like, okay, that's disgusting, fair enough. But then they change the definition of what a lolly is, to the point where now the characters from My Hero Academia that have like big fat tits and plump asses are considered to be lolly because they do not fit the American age of consent, even though in many European countries they do. And even though it doesn't really make sense because drawings can't consent to begin with, but fine, like they will say, well, My Hero Academia is pedophilic because like all of the female characters there, they're kind of dressed like American shows in the 90s would dress Buffy the Vampire Slayer, so we don't like that, right? Like if you watch that, you're a pedophile. So you're looking at My Hero Academia, it doesn't have any sexual stuff in it. Like that, it doesn't have any sex scenes, like you can find them more in American TV shows. But they changed the definition. Like, that's the thing. And once you agree, it's like, okay, well, if My Hero Academia is bad, then we need to pressure Japanese studios to do better, right? Like, the female characters, they need to be dressed up. And then they will say, well, even if it's dressed up, even if you have a character like Ozaki-chan, which is, like, over the age of 18, she still looks like but a child. So you're still a pedophile, right? Like, for them, the issue is not the issue. Like, what they want is to turn the public, especially the Western public, against anime and turn it into fucking Netflix. Because they don't go against Big Mouth. They don't go against Rick and Morty. Like, in Rick and Morty, you have, like, Morty, he's, 13, and he gets butt-fucked in several episodes. South Park as well, right? These are mainstream shows that go on everyone's television. And they don't complain about those because they don't care, It's not, like, they literally do not give a shit.
Yeah, it's because they're trying to change the culture. In the case of anime, it's something they dislike. And so they do what every movement does. They find something that can be perceived as negative, and if they can't find something that can be perceived as negative, they'll change it until it can be perceived as negative, and then they tell that to the normies in the most uncharitable fashion possible. And this is like the universal playbook of anything. And to be fair, we've actually recently had a very good example of our side doing this as well. I don't know if you've seen
calendar.
This.
Yeah, the calendar.
No, not the calendar, I don't think, but the new Star Wars director chick, or something, whatever. So she had a talk. So it came out on Twitter that she said that her movie was about making men uncomfortable. And we all swallowed it uncritically because that's something that people would say in this day and fucking age, isn't it?
Yeah, Arch, you know, like my video game is to make women feel like... what type of person says that? Like, even if your video game targets only men, like, if there's like 10 women that want to buy it, that's good, you know?
Hold on, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest. If someone actually just came out and said, you know what? Do whatever you want with the rest of the industry, but my one video game is actually meant to make women uncomfortable, I'd be like, well, I guess we're here now. Like, okay, you can make that game if you want.
If someone says that, I would just think that they're not interested in making money, unironically. Like, and it's fine, you know? Like, if you're interested...
this was actually entirely justifiable, what she said. Because this was said 8 years ago, and it was specifically in relevance to another movie she made, talking about Pakistani honor killings. And you know what? If we're making Pakistani honor killings, people who commit that uncomfortable, I can live with it. It's like, okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah, but even then, Arch, like the thing is, what does this have to do with Star Wars?
Well, that was the issue. Like, this was our side who dug this up. They presented this interview taken from 8 years ago and said, here's the director of the Star Wars movie saying she wants to make men uncomfortable. When this was directly she talking about a video about honor killings. This was our side who did this. Yeah. This is the bad tactics of the opposition.
We're doing offense necromancy now.
This is why I'm not on the right, Arch. It's not my side. No.
Oh, what was it? There was who did it?
I do have two things I want to say though. If you're still looking something up, Arch.
Go on.
Okay, V. I disagree with two things you said in that long rant of yours. Okay. Firstly,
only two.
Only two.
Only two. Yeah.
So you mentioned about anime, right? And why they're coming after anime. I have a different it's a related but a different reason as to why they're coming after anime. And it's because they just can't control it, 'cause it comes from somewhere else, right? Like you can get woke leftists to subvert their way into video games in the West, and they've done so. Or into comics or into movies or whatever it is, right? But anime is not made here. It's made in a different language with different people. And they can't subvert their way across the ocean and get in. Though some of them have been trying for sure, but it's just not working out for them. And the majority of the actual anime production industry has been largely ignoring them, which is why they've had to get in through translation, right? But the original content is still not it's still being created outside of their bounds. So I think the main reason they come after anime so hardcore is because they realize it's almost like this impenetrable fortress due to language barrier, due to distance. You know, it's something they can't do. And of course, in terms of the sexuality, like we've seen the whole safe horny thing. They went after Miranda's ass, but they're completely fine with all the naked girls in Baldur's Gate 3. You know, it is just a safe horny conversation at that point. But I think the reason
seriously, it triggers me so fucking much when you use their language to me. Like please use anything else. If you say safe horny one more fucking time, I will snap. I will snap. I like the very concept offends me. Okay, it's the fabric of the thing that I find great distaste and disgust just by hearing it. But no, like you're right in a way. The reason they hate anime, though, and this is the main reason, is that I have learned more conservative values from Uzumaki Naruto than I have learned from the church, from conservative talking heads, from Ben Shapiro, from all the other institutions, from schools. Like Uzumaki Naruto, My Hero Academia, Dragon Ball taught me the concept of hard work, friendship, sacrifice, and I know there's going to be a copium-infested right-winger that goes to be like, oh yes, but in these animes I have saw this thing, and this is I don't fucking care, because I'm a grown adult and I can separate bad thing from the good. Right? I don't need
Yep.
to be spoon-fed like a fucking child, like every single message that's positive, right?
So
Like, oh
do you
yes, but like
recall?
Naruto. Go on.
Yeah, do you recall back in the 2000s, with Pokemon taking off and Harry
Yeah.
Potter taking off, the American right wing was like very against these things,
Yes.
and the church ended up coming. Like I think even the Pope said something about it. He said, the Pope at the time, he was like, "No, guys, Pokemon's actually good because it teaches about friendship and hard work and sacrifice, like you said." So it's like, yeah, the values come in a strange package to our Western taste, but the values are there. And I think
Let me
I
give you
think
an
that is
example.
definitely
All
why
right?
they hate anime. Yeah.
One show that they hated the most, Legacy of the Shield Hero. Right? And in this show, you have like a normal isekai. They all get transported into this other world, and there's this guy that's the shield hero. Like you have like the bow hero. He's got like a cool bow and does cool stuff. He's got the sword hero. But this guy's got a shield, right? No one likes him. It's like, what the fuck is a shield? And there's like this cool chick that says, hey, you know what? I'll pair with him. Like, I'll be his sidekick. She ends up stealing all of his equipment and then accuses him of rape. And now the entire kingdom is like, what the fuck? You raped the... And she was like the king's daughter. It's like, oh my god, you raped the king's daughter. She framed him of rape. And this comes into the Me Too era where it was like, if a woman accuses you, that is enough evidence. Why would she lie? Why would she lie? Like the
Unless she's
accusation.
doesn't count.
Yeah. So basically, this is before the Johnny Depp lawsuit. And the left was freaking out. It's like, what do you mean? Like, men are exposed to the idea that women can lie? We cannot allow this. We cannot stand for this. This anime is disgusting. It encourages pedophilia. Look at her. She is but a child. Only a pedophile would look at Legacy of the Shield Hero. Oh, it's got themes of racismus, and there is slaverismus and bigotrismus. Oh. And I think like Crunchyroll actually refused to have an award given to this anime just because of the controversy, right? But like the anime itself didn't have any sex scenes in it. It didn't have like any. It was just like the message.
Stupid thing.
It did have like no, hold on. Like they almost raped Rafaelia, right? But it's not like, okay, when you watch an American TV show, especially the ones from the 90s, right? Like Buffy and stuff. Like all of a sudden they start fucking. They start fucking for no reason, they go under the bed shit. And like many of those characters were underage as well. Like they were 17, 16. But they were played by actors that were over the age of 18. So no one had the problem with it, right? But like anime, you may have a kiss or you may have something implied for a couple of scenes. But it's nothing like the old American TV shows. So I genuinely like don't understand like why they're behaving as if it's something that's created right now and it's a danger to the very fabric of our society.
I can tell you why. Okay, so a lot of millennial woke people, they were like edgy teenagers back in the 2000s, right? And they were like 15-year-olds and 16-year-old who wanted to get laid. And a lot of them did get laid. And so they were having underage sex themselves. But now that they're in their 30s and some of them are in their 40s and they're no longer cool and they've become, millennial woke scolds, they're now looking back on it and saying, that was bad. You're too young to do it. It's the same. Every generation does this to the next generation, but it's being filtered through a woke lens this time. It's the same thing of like you did it when you were a kid, and now you're shitting on the next kids coming up for doing the same thing.
Like I will upset a lot of people in the chat here, and I will say that I understand why people find loli vile. Okay, I just understand. I get it. I'm right, especially in hentai. Like I 100% understand that, but if you're going to say that now, we're going to age gate and say that 17-year-old anime girl that is like fully clothed and has cleavage, only a pedophile would like that, I think you're insane. I think you're mentally deranged. I genuinely think that you believe drawings can consent. You're a rape apologist.
Well, there is my second point that I wanted to get to, V, that we haven't got to yet, if you want.
Well, hurry it up a little bit, V. And Dev. Both of you.
Dev, okay. So, when you said, V, you said in your speech that they call everyone fascist, but they don't actually believe it. I disagree with you. I think they genuinely believe that everyone who isn't them is a fascist. I think that's a real statement of true belief on their part. And the main
No,
reason
it's
I
more
think
like no. I will tell you what I mean by it.
Okay.
Service guarantees
It's kind of
citizenship.
like
If
the
you two start
intelligentsia does.
arguing about the definition of fascism, I will cut
No,
you
no, no,
down.
no, no, no.
I'm not. Watch
It's
my
kinda
video
like,
on that.
it's kind of like the intelligentsia, right? Like the people writing this shit in the academia, they know what fascism is and they know who is it, but they know it's an effective tactic to label people fascists because like they're going to be attacked by the normies.
Yeah, for some people
Does
it is
that make
that.
sense?
It's just that
Yeah.
this is fascism is whatever I don't like. I'm just gonna call you fascist because it's convenient for me. That definitely happens. But I do think a lot of, let's say, the rank and file woke people, they genuinely believe anybody who is
Yes.
not where they are politically is a fascist, and I can tell you exactly why. So there is a sense of the slippery slope that moves leftward, right? And you see pictures online and stuff like on Twitter or whatever where it says like in 2010 you just had two gay guys saying let us marry, and then you slide down the slope to bake the cake bigot, and you slide down
100%
the
agree
slope,
with that. Yeah.
and then you slide down the slope to let teachers choose your child's gender and all this
Yes.
shit, right? And so on the one hand, the liberal reply to the slippery slope is you can just have the gay marriage and then not do the child trans thing. Like you can just arbitrarily define that as good versus bad. You can do that. But here's the thing. From the left-wing perspective, they view the left as a slippery slope and that it's good to go down it, right? So if you're not going down their slippery slope, you have to be going down the opposite slippery slope, which also exists, which is why libertarians have to be fascists, because eventually the capitalism will create a hierarchy that will create fascism, and monarchists have to be fascists, and conservatives have to be fascists, because they can draw a slippery slope with all of these various positions that aren't them. Even if they're mild positions that aren't them, they can go down a slippery slope to fascism, right? So they think in slippery slope thinking. So when they look at you and say you're a fascist, they actually believe that.
Yeah, that's why I call you a communist. But look in the chat.
But it's not true either way. That's the point. It's not true either way.
No. Okay.
It is.
There is a point here. There is a point, because both sides can be slippery slopes. The issue is that the left has codified its slippery slope far more effectively. The idea of Marcuse, for example, or oppressive tolerance, etc., etc. I'm sure we're all aware what this is.
Yeah.
It is benefit my side only. The right side has been far too lenient in applying these tactics in the modern day age. We keep thinking like Dev does, that, oh, well, if we just accept this, we can stop it there. But we never manage to stop it there. Or we will go far too far to the other side. And this has to do with the inertia of the group that we are affecting. Because when we make our points, we're not affecting ourselves or our groups. We're attempting to affect the culture. We are two polar opposites pulling in each side, and then the 98% of sheep in the middle will simply abide by whichever one pulls the hardest. This is why you see, for example, like the previous example with Matt Walsh going like, oh, I took a quote from 8 years ago, and I'm going to use this to further
Fire
my
is the
position.
answer.
And the sheep, because this is the culture that is appropriate now, will go bah, bah, bah,
Yeah.
at that. And this is why you've got slippery slopes on both sides, because as the sheep battle towards the right, they will hit gay marriage, and then they will look at you, Dev, and go, degenerates, and then they will barrel on.
By the way, look at exactly what I was talking about, right? So I say that anime teaches you good values, and I have a person saying, well, actually, in the Legacy of the Shield hero, he never actually punishes the criminals who hurt him, right? So that's like a bad value.
Wow,
Hold on.
don't know about V. You're lying now.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, like let's assume that is the case, right? As
Hold
an
on. I've
adult,
got a
I
dev
can use
slide
my
for this.
brain in order to separate the good values from the bad. Like, I don't care if in Legacy of the Shield hero, it teaches you about prostitution and whoring and becoming like Andrew Tate. Like, that is not the issue. As long as you have, like, good values that you can take and you can separate in your mind from the bad, I would still say that anime has more good values overall than Netflix, Disney, Marvel, DC Comics, or any of the Western slop that's made. Do you disagree, Arch?
No, it does have better values, in large part because the Japanese are still, isolated enough on their little island to maintain them. But the thing is, by the time anime falls full woke, which will happen in 10 to 15 years, we'll have gone past it. And so we will become the leading force again, because Japan is always behind us. And eventually we'll have to de-wokeify Japan, and it'll become de-wokeified just in time for the next fucking turn around the sun.
We'll do it with nuclear weapons. Again.
Japan actually went to the path of communism, and one of their talking heads got assassinated on live television.
I recall.
Socialist, what his name was.
Actually, he was a nationalist socialist, so not quite communist.
Well, he wanted to unite with China and move away from America, and he got assassinated by a right-winger.
And
Come on,
that is how
Archie.
we should behave, all of us. It's the only way.
You must know this name, Arch. It's
I've seen the video, the guy's like holding the sword and he like stabs him in the stomach. Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, and there were like a person in my chat saying, "Well, actually, that's not a sword. That is a it's like a
Is it
hidden
a
blade."
Wazakashi or something? Yeah.
Yeah, oh, fucking hell.
We're going to keep it up on screen just for a very brief moment, because this is still YouTube. But yes, that is how you solve communism.
If you go into the YouTube video where this guy got assassinated, like every single every single comment is like based. No, I'm not kidding. Like I actually like wanted to know more about it. Like I was trying to study about what happened, and I go
Arch,
to the
take that
comment
off the screen
section, and that
too.
was it.
Why are you always reframing the shit that I send you in jest?
Because this time it was V. It was like the truth. Don't let the truth get in the way of the narrative. It's a good dev quote.
But that is actually a good point. Yes, don't let the truth get in the way of the narrative.
No!
Exactly.
The truth should get in the way of the narrative. That's the point of the truth.
Yeah, when you're actually going to win any type of political debates, then I'll listen to your wise advice. In the meantime, I'm going to not let the truth get in the way of the narrative. If that Star Wars
you're wrong about this, V. Listen. If your narrative is not aligned with the truth, then you shouldn't hold it.
Listen, Dev. If that Star Wars chick says she wants to make men feel uncomfortable, and I know she's a bad person, I will 100% use that quote against her.
See? And thus we can see another great dev quote. Whoosh! I made it the fuck up.
I never said that. That's what I dev quote.
Yeah, you did say that. Why did you say that, Dev?
You made it up that I said it.
No.
It works on so many levels.
Look, if the tactic is effective, Dev, we're still going to use it.
But there is...
Oh, wait. V, are you going full rules for radicals now?
Yeah,
no bad tactics, only bad targets.
There's an element of that where the right is going to have to do so, where the conservatives are going to have to do so. But there is a limit.
There's like an unfortunate truth here where because the left just is like, here's the thing, the left has begun to take some L's in the cultural sphere and they're still not backing down, they're just screeching. So basically they're going to have to be hung by their own rules until they come back to the bargaining table and actually decide to play by a standard.
Dev, all right, I will explain to you, okay? They want to take away my gas card. They want to take away my fucking gas stuff. They want to raise my taxes, Dev. They already did. They want by 2030 for me to live in a fucking cave and eat the bugs. I will use any fucking tactic necessary in order to make sure that doesn't happen.
That's what they think about you. Because here's the thing, I made a video about this just the other day about the Harvard cancellation, right, for the president there. That is right-wing cancel culture, and it is good. We should use right-wing cancel culture against them, because only by doing so will they ever sit up and go, wow, it hurts to be shot. Wow.
Yeah, literally, it's like Dev. You're like walking through the battlefield and you're fighting a gun, and you're
V,
like,
V, don't you dare ascribe this position to me. I just said, I know what you're gonna say. No, not this time.
What am I going to say? What am I going to say?
You're gonna say that I'm walking through the battlefield and I'm saying, oh, the right should actually adhere itself to a standard, while it's being destroyed by the left. It's not adhering to a standard.
That's not what I was going to say.
Okay, fine. Go ahead.
You're walking through the battlefield and you're fighting a gun, and you're like, this is German. This is not made by my people. I will not use German weaponry. German weaponry is evil. I need to use Canadian weaponry because that is good.
I don't know about that. Well, as we all know, Dev is the best-selling author of other people's things. He would definitely borrow things on the battlefield.
No. He's saying like you shouldn't use the tactics.
Actually, I want to find something for you guys.
It's like as Canadians, we should never blitzkrieg because that's what the Germans do.
See, like the
Right.
thing is though, there is
I have
absolutely a
lost-
point where we do need to point out that it is being done on our side as well. Like when Matt Walsh quote mines a woman for 8 years ago in a completely different context, where the statement actually is entirely reasonable, we should also point that out as well. Because preferably, we would like to actually return to the deviant position of, okay, gays can get married, just don't touch children. That is the ideal position I wish to arrive at, a medium modicum. But we're probably not. We're probably going to hit that, and we're probably going to barrel past it, and I will survive longer than Dev, but even so.
Dev.
Okay, hold on. I just sent you this tweet. Do you guys see this? The Trump's New America.
Yes.
Service
But
You guys
I
saw
want
this,
to
right?
before we go to that, I want to give chat Dev's best quote. Dev's best quote.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. What is it?
As a Canadian, Dev once said, "If you kill them, they win."
I never once said that.
You said that, Dev.
Trudeau said that. I
No,
didn't
you
say
said
it.
You said
I'm not Trudeau.
Okay, hold on. You know what? Trudeau didn't even say it, but I love the fact that you're learning wisdom from us. I love the fact that you are willing to push the narrative
What
to
narrative? I
further
didn't-
our. But Trudeau
Okay.
never said that. Yeah, that's
he,
made
he
up.
says he said something similar to it. Anyway,
No,
hold on.
No,
Yes. Okay.
no.
The
This was
video.
a satirical website, and it was like during ISIS attacks in Europe, and it's like, well, if we kill them, they win.
Now, if you say so.
Yeah, they were mocking Trudeau.
Okay.
Alright.
Anyway,
We'll get to the video, because it does look rather smashing. But
Wait, have you seen it before, Arch?
that, I want to have an interruption for Super Chats, because we've moved past like 3 fucking topics, and I'm sure we need to address
let's
some
go
of that
ahead.
before we
Yeah.
forget about it. Let's see. Noah R. My proxy Norwegian. I was wondering about your king's family jewels. How much do they have officially? Crown jewels of Noah. Do we have any? I mean, we got a couple. Yes. How much they're worth? I have no idea. I mean, we've got a crown, obviously, and we've got a scepter, and we've got that little apple thingy and shit like that, and we've got a stick, and I think we've got like a cup and something too. But as to what they're worth, not the faintest. I mean,
Can you even figure out like no one is going to buy them because they're not for sale? So like,
well, you
I
have a
really hate-
theoretical value, like, because you know how
How?
big the diamonds are, and like how many of them there are, etc. and how
yeah,
much
but
they
like
weigh.
it would be it's the fucking Norwegian king's diamonds. Like they're priceless. I mean, any collector would probably want them.
You would obviously add on to it. There's also the fact that since our royal family's a proper old school one, we actually have tons of jewelry from other nations too, like Prussian jewels or Austrian jewels, etc., or French jewelry, etc. That's been given in gifts between the various nations for the last like 500 fucking years or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like even those aren't for sale, right? So.
No.
Do you know that the Mona Lisa is actually considered a shit painting? And I'll explain why.
Will you explain
So
why?
like in the beginning, it was a shit painting, and almost no one wanted to see it. But then it got robbed. Like some people tried to steal it, and it was like a whole event where the media was trying to find where the thieves are, and it was like an entire train chase and shit. And after that, it became famous. So it's actually famous not for the drawing, like it's not the drawing itself is not that spectacular, but it's like the
Service
history
guarantees
behind it, which caused
citizenship.
like the cultural thing. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that if people believe something is valuable, it becomes valuable. In the case of your like
Right.
crown jewels, it's the fucking king, right? Like there's an entire story behind it. It way over the price of just having those jewels made.
Everything's Bitcoin if you go down, if you dig down deep
It's
enough.
Bitcoin, yes, everything is Bitcoin.
Talon Hayabusa says, titles. I have to ask, what is up with Gilliman and the knife-eared wench? It is, as we commonly call it, the author's barely disguised fetish. Simple as, really. Somebody at GW wanted to have sex with Eldar. This is how they did it.
I have
Zontar,
lost.
help me. Poilivier is fighting to keep 700 Indian illegals from being
Polyev.
deported. There's no peaceful solution to the Libcon regime. Our elite want violence.
Let me look it up. Hold on. Polyev, 700 illegals. I don't see anything.
There was a recent event where, let's see here. Yes. A bunch of German farmers wanted to get on a ferry that was carrying some political officials to, bitch at them loudly for raising their taxes for no goddamn reason. And this was like, oh my god, the peasants are rioting. I'm like, yes,
Heresy's the
good.
question.
Politicians
Fire is the
should fear the constituency.
When did this stop becoming a thing? Like I always thought that it's common sense that the government should fear the people, not the other way around.
It became common sense when the politicians got fat and lazy enough. See, this is what always happens in government, like generally. Like, this is government, right? The longer government is around, the more the government thinks it has intrinsic value. And so the politicians go like, attacking us should be illegal. Like, okay, fair enough. Bad-mouthing us should be illegal. Okay, you're pushing it now. Being in the same space as us should be illegal. And eventually you'll end up with nobility. That is the inevitable result of allowing human beings to dictate legislation. And this is why the communists do have a point when they say we need to cleanse the ruling class every now and then.
It's not about the communists. It's the tree of liberty needs to be watered with the blood of the patriots.
I suppose. What I'm simply saying is that occasionally we need to eat the politicians. Wayton says, Hail ArchV and the Red Minion. I am 30 years old this week. Congratulations, or condolations, depending on.
Happy birthday.
Is it a happy birthday? Like, I'm of the opinion that once you're around 30, you're not having happy birthdays anymore, so you're just having birthdays. The Halsnator, I think it's hilarious that the bridge god has created a minion in the form of the Little Red Bridge. If anyone can make that take off, it would be Arch. That is true. Dev is the Little Red Bridge, across which communism flows unimpeded. And that name will only become more apt as he bridges the gap to yet further communists in the future. I wouldn't be surprised if that rape woman will eventually cross the Little Red Bridge. Andrew Schmidt, V, you still owe me an answer. What size shell does an FV 4005 use?
He never comes to my stream, give me super chats and ask me these questions. Why does he always do it here?
Because I'm more charismatic.
It is true. Okay, so what was the question?
FV 4005. What size shells does it use?
But we started from guns, which is reasonable, and I think he ran out. So now he's asking me bizarre shit about what helicopters have and what tanks get, and it's like, dude, I'm not a military expert. I know guns, okay? I know what a pistol is.
Theoretically, the Centaur did have a gun, so it's still a gun.
But no, I've never heard about this. I'm clueless.
I believe it was, it's British, obviously, because only the British would be like, we're going to name it after a horseman, because they're weird like that. And it was designed specifically to counter the IS-3, which the Allies had spotted just after the war. And it had a 183mm cannon, which I'm pretty sure they ripped off a fucking destroyer or something. Just kind of like what the Russians did with their KV-2, 152mm naval gun, just plonked on a chassis. Chuck says, remember that this game has almost the best depiction of Christianity in gaming by Joshua Graham in one of the DLCs. That this game. But what game? I don't know. 3x3 Nihilo. Name the names, Dev, you coward. Name the magic books to make us brilliant liberals. Stop ducking direct arguments.
What? What are we talking about specifically?
Name
Magic
the names, books. Books, yeah, magic books.
Mein Kampf.
There you go. That makes you a liberal in Dev's book. Dev, 2024. What book should you read to become a good liberal? Mein Kampf.
No, the Communist Manifesto. Unironically, like the more or the Gulag Archipelago.
No. Dev is doing his slide towards the left, which will eventually lead to fascism. Like, that's the final destination of the Little Red Bridge.
You think so?
Yeah.
Nah.
Dude, you're going to be advocating for people to vote for Biden next election. Shut the fuck up.
Lesser of two evils, yeah.
The
There we go.
lesser
I
of
mean,
two
what,
evils.
like,
Yeah.
chat. How do I know? How do I know these things? Right? Like, how
I
do
said
I
it 6
predict
months
them?
ago. That's how you knew, V. This ain't. Yes.
Unironically, I
Listen,
didn't.
hold on. If it's Trump v. Biden, Biden's the choice.
Heresy.
Now, there
How
are some
much
Republican
worse? How much
Hold
worse
on.
does my life need to get, Dev? How much worse does it need to get until you start giving a shit?
Hold on. I'm just
Your
needing to
life, you're in
slap this
Romania.
up on.
Yes, and do you know what's next to
No.
Romania? Fucking Ukraine. And why is there a war in Ukraine? Because America is weak, Dev. It wasn't a war during Trump administration, was it?
Dev's
No,
receiving
no.
a new software update to his communism.
No, this doesn't make any sense, V. Sorry.
Okay. Arch, can you explain what I'm struggling here?
No. Dev is protecting his own interests. 50% for the big guy, etc.
Nice.
Silencio Steve gives 5 ArchCast memberships. Thank you very much, sir. And has been a member himself for 5 months. Thank you for the continued support. And says Blip.
Okay. Everyone in the chat is reading on my Ukraine take. Yes, I'm actually on Ukraine's side and against Russia on this. Yes.
No, that's not
Ukraine,
the point, Dev. Listen.
Ukraine is the moral side, chat. Yes, I would like to see
Yes, it
Ukraine
is.
win their war
Yes.
if possible, chat. Yes.
Yeah, but like when Trump said that if you invade Ukraine, I'm going to bomb Moscow, and Russia doesn't invade, okay, that is an alternative that is more preferable than a war in the
Yep.
fucking region.
I'm with V on this one. If the Trump-philophagus had been in office, we would have a far more peaceful world right now.
Possible.
And if
Plus-
you know this, Dev, why are you rolling with fucking Biden? Why?
Because I believe the contents of the Eastman memo make Trump uniquely unqualified for office.
Oh, so a person with dementia is 100% qualified for office.
Not 100%. I simply said he was better.
Ah, I see. Okay, no,
Better
my
than
bad.
Trump. No,
yeah,
there are other candidates that I would prefer over both of them.
I
but-
see.
If the race ends up being Trump v. Biden, Biden is the pick. Yes.
You are so lucky that YouTube has trusted safety councils, Dev, because the amount of words that I would say would break your spirit. I those slurs.
Go ahead,
that
go
your
do it. Say it.
Canadian
Do it.
Oh, yeah, do it. Say it on Arch's channel. I will come to your channel. And I will
Oh,
fucking say
yeah. We
I
keep
will
saying
come
you
to
can
your
say it on my channel. Fuck it.
with a
Yeah.
voice
Yeah, it's
changer
on my
and
channel.
a victim avatar, and I will say
Oh,
shit that your
oh.
mama is not going to be able to revert that brain damage that you're going to get.
All
I'm
I
pumped.
can say is, thank God Dev is not allowed to vote.
Mm.
Robert
Well, I
Wadsworth.
don't know. Under the Biden regime, maybe he can.
Maybe
How does
he can,
mail-in
yes.
voting?
Hello, Art. I was rewatching some of your Tau videos, and I came to a realization that they are the woke activists, if they were effective. Yes, the Tau utilize many of their tactics. The Dodger UK. I work for a company making £650 million a year. Very nice. I am making a game engine for them from scratch. It's just me. It's hard, but for a big company with hundreds of people, they are just lazy. Yes, and the thing is, something being hard is good. There is virtue in solving problems, and it makes you into a better human being. When your computer breaks down, you fixing it makes you a better human being. Even if you fuck it up, the experience makes you a better human being. We need to get back to that. We need to return to the age where a child goes up to the teacher and hands him this well-carved little thing that he's made out of macaroni and cheese or something and goes like, teacher, look what I made. And the teacher looks at it and goes like, wow, that's pretty cool, Jimmy. And then puts it into a fucking shredder and goes, make it again or I'll hit you. This is your level, Jimmy. There will be punishment unless you reach it.
I'm not going to call Dev a communist anymore.
Oh,
I think it's worse. A Democrat.
A
No,
demo-
fucking Democrat. Next time I
Democrat.
see people in California, go in and shoplift and they're ruining stores and shit, I will be like, but why does Dev want this? Why is Dev supporting this?
Here's the thing. I'll just straight up say it. Yes, like rather than someone who's radical left or radical right, I would take a neolib. Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing left to add. I mean, there are certain times where even I can't say anything that makes it worse. So it is what it is.
American Outliers say, Hey Arch, V, and Deb, hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well too, American Outlier.
Even the Japanese in the chat are astonished, Deb. Like you managed to shock the people from the Empire of the Rising Sun. I see an individual with Stargate.
It's okay. They're all
letters in the
retarded. I
chat.
understand.
Democrat.
The Democrat based.
Ghostman says, are these the same people pushing gay porn and chop chop boys? Probably yes. See, okay, we need to define Democrat. A Democrat is somebody who does something for themselves and themselves only. That's what a Democrat is.
A Democrat.
Yep.
You know what I think, Dev? I think that space dust is causing you to act this way.
The Democrat will come up with whatever narrative most benefits themselves.
Someone just donated $2 and said Dev likes Nikki Haley. Enough said. I would take Nikki Haley over Trump. Yes.
See?
Yep.
It's
not even a hard choice. Not even a fucking hard choice. Not even a hard choice.
To be fair, I kind of like Nikki Haley too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pick her over Trump, though, mind you, but it's just not the worst.
I would. Yep. I would pick her over Trump.
Trump must win because here's the thing. I don't care about the damage he'll do to America. I don't live there. I do care about the damage he'll do to the woke establishment, though.
Wait, hold on. So you're actually doing what the leftoids say then? Is that you want Trump to win to own the libs? I have
no,
lost.
not to own the libs. I want Trump to win so that a vengeful orange man can re-enter the White House and look around himself at all of his unfaithful servant and then start sharpening something heavy and very blunt.
Nah, here's the thing. I think Trump will be the nominee, and I think he will probably lose in 2024.
I believe there will be vigorous fortifications against him. I believe that there might not even be a Republican Party at that point, seeing as the Democrats are already pushing, of course, for taking away the representative powers of Republicans. So I do believe
I agree with you, but for different reasons. I think Trump will actually end up like consuming and destroying the Republican Party.
If by consuming and destroying you mean making the Democrats destroy it, then possibly.
Oh, no. Here's what I mean. Like, if for some reason somebody else won the Republican primary, right? And then Trump will just go, fuck you, I'm going to run third party. And he will take half the Republican base with him. And in doing so, he will destroy the Republican Party.
Possibly, but at that point, it's not the Republican Party anymore. It's the Trump Party.
Yeah, but that's kind of a problem. Because
Well,
you don't want like
no.
no, it is though. You don't want you want two political parties with two different views of the world. You don't want one party and then one just Trump fan club.
I heavily object to the idea that you want two political parties, particularly two political parties that far too frequently rub each other's backs a little bit too much. The Uni Party.
Arch only wants one actual party. It turns out.
I want, preferably, a fucking dozen parties to make it near impossible for them to collaborate with each other. In fact, I want it enshrined within law that members of two political parties can only talk to each other for a maximum of 5 minutes at a time, with the penalty of having their peckers severed.
I don't know about that. That's a bit fucking crazy, Arch.
Ideally speaking, they should have to settle most of their disputes via blood sports too.
There's another super chat. If Trump loses, it will be because the Dems steal it. That is just cope. And here, if you still think that 2020 was stolen, you're just coping. You're coping at this point.
Yeah,
I've done so much research now. Over the past 2 months, I've looked into so much of the fucking research on this, and every piece of research for Trump's side that I've been sent by Trump fans, it all ends up being bullshit. All of it. Seriously. Every time I read something new, it further cements my opinion that Trump just lost 2020 straight up. And that's just like he just ate it.
The Reeve Guy, or that Reeve Guy, says, greetings, Arch. On the cursed point of female space marines, what is stopping Chaos corruption from mutating Chaos space marines into females? And why are the tourists not pushing that point? Because they don't want Chaos Space Marines. Chaos Space Marines aren't the poster children. The Space Marines are. In fact, there are already Chaos Space Marines with titties. And if having titties is enough to make you a female, then they already exist. But again, It's not because they want representation. It's because they want the poster child. They want that representation, the front runner.
No, it's more like to get a seat on the table, they start making demands, right? Like this is the stage of accommodation. Like they want things changed to accommodate them.
They're already in there. They're way past the stage of accommodation. Now this is the power play. This is the if we do this, we have conquered you. Like they're already in the door. Now they're asking you to bow.
No, I think they may have representatives in the power structure, but they don't have the power yet because otherwise they would have Space Marines. Otherwise, it would have been Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the power play.
Yeah.
This is the power play because they're already in the door. GW has already disavowed their own factions in their favor.
They're at stage 3, basically, right? So if you give them this, they will start making more and more demands, and then it will be like, oh, the community is so bad.
There will be no demands after female Space Marines. There will only be further ascensions. That's all there will be. The female Space Marines is the demand. Once it is given, it's over. They have, at that point, taken over the franchise, and they will simply demand whatever they want.
Yeah. I mean, you're literally going to get what happens in Dungeons and Dragons, where it's like, oh, we're going to remove orcs being evil. We're going to remove dark elves. We're going to remove this joke. We're going to remove this spell. And at that point, like, they stop making Dungeons and Dragons, and all their efforts are focused on making political correctness, like removing stuff from the game.
Yes.
I mean, look at D&D, right? Like, what is the last cool shit that came out? Was the like a cool spell, a cool feat, a cool feature? I'm looking at like the latest things that come out, and it's like mostly it's like, okay, so we decided to remove this. When you choose a race, you don't get bonuses anymore. Like all races are the same. You know, just because you're a dwarf, you don't get the extra strength. We're making it so that dark elves aren't evil, right? Which Brits von Urden stops being a cool character, because like the whole shtick is like, well, he comes from an evil race, but he's good and he faces prejudice, and it's how he's going to deal with that. Yeah. But it is what it is, you know.
Artemis Fowl says, can we get a study on how space dust affected the localization of anime? Localizers claim that there are some errors and mistakes, but most of it is overblown and anti-women. I don't know. The space dust is just Dev's newest it happened because magic. Can we prove that the muons affected the thing? Well, in theory.
God damn it. Arch, I have never... Here's why this has become a meme, right? Because it happened at one place, somewhere else, and now everyone's saying that I said it happened in America. I never said it happened in America. That's not how it is.
This is the newest meme. Space nuance. From Dev. Alexandro, a thought for the day. Beware the alien, the mutant, and the tourist. Correct. The Inquisition must stand ready to deal with such vile threats. Nicholas Van Neel, anime bad, but Euphoria, the show, good. Sujard, it's the same as the hippie generation loving Dirty Harry. Also, lolly is pedo content. It's irrelevant that it's drawing sexualizing underage peeps. Well, sexualizing .pngs... still better than
like that's the thing, right? Like that's the foot in the door, but then they redefine lolly to include let's see, Pinky from My Hero Academia, or what is the Sakura from Naruto, like that's a lolly now, you know? And they're from like what is Sakura's friend, the one with the big titties, the one that does the mind control shit, right? Like they're basically going to say, oh, you like that, you're a pedophile. And I'm like, I think you're mentally challenged, mate. And, you know, like, if that's what you're thinking, why are you sharing the picture of these characters on your timeline? Like they're not even talking about hentai. This is what chat refuses to understand, because they're using their definitions. It's the Bot and Bailey tactic. You're not talking about hentai. They're talking about mainstream anime that doesn't even have, like, sexual content, like Naruto. Like they think that if Naruto does the jutsu, the harem sexy jutsu, that is pedophilic, right? Like, even though all the girls have big tits and it's done for comedic effect and you're supposed to laugh, right? They'll be like, no, that's content for pedophile. And it's like, if you like that, you're part of the problem. You should get the FBI called on you because you like Naruto. And like, this is like what I'm trying to talk about. It's the foot at the door. They start with that and they're like, well, yeah, like hentai, obviously, right? Like, who's going to defend that? And then they change the definition, right? Because there was like this common thing accepted on the internet that as long as the drawing has like big tits and birthing hips, that it's a drawing that makes children. It's not a child, right? But apparently no. Now the purpose is to go against anime. It's not to go against like a specific subsect of anime. No. Like the issue isn't the issue.
Mark James says, so a lawyer in a robe from Vegas was attacked in her own courtroom. In a robe
I
from
saw that.
Vegas. Yes, I did see the tale of the flying black man. It was self-defense as well. I'll keep saying this. Judges are bad people, and sometimes they deserve a little bit of pushback, okay?
I think that was a specific type of American moment, Arch.
See, if George Floyd did nothing wrong and is a saint, I believe that we should also saint this guy. At least he attacked his oppressor directly and wasn't defeated as easily as
Service
Floyd.
guarantees citizenship.
That is an interesting point, right? Like when a criminal attacks a cop, most people will justify it on social media. Like I saw on Twitter, where you have like a criminal just charging at a cop.
Only if they're black, V. But yeah.
Yeah, and they will justify it. So like if they charge at a judge, like what? If you justify one, what is the logic for not justifying the other?
Yeah, judges are far worse people. Like, judges are a hazard to society. Like, they're a problem that will have to be fixed. And this may be one way to do it, if we just hurl people at them. Plus, again, she clearly did something, alright? Just look at the man. Look at the man. He's mid-flight. He's hurling himself. You don't do that if you can help it. You know, that takes
That was an
dedication.
impressive jump, yeah.
Yes.
Like I would point out that a lot of people are making fun of the guy in the blue shirt because he wasn't punching properly, right? But he was the first one to defend that judge. Like he also lunged into the direction trying to save the judge. So
Yep, he jumped right in. Like
his heart was in the right place.
Yeah, it's just too
man,
bad. That
I
he
love
didn't
the
know how to
memes that have
punch.
come out of this. There's been so many good memes.
Meow. You know, I love like putting my succubus on that picture, asking like, but how does this affect you personally?
How does it?
How does it affect you personally?
Listen, you know, the judge was being unreasonable, and he decided to take things into his own hands. This is what happens.
From what I understand,
Such is
she was
life.
going to give him like maybe one extra month or something. Like now he's got 20.
Yeah, but a month in
what it was-
American jail, like that's at least 7 dickings.
No. I would disagree. Like if it was a Mexican jail, I would have agreed.
So the thing is that I think he had been given a whole bunch of like lenient sentences, like here's another chance, here's another chance. You know, you had a bad childhood, fine, here's another chance. And it got to the point where it's like, no, he needs to go to jail to really experience why you can't be doing this. And that's when he attacked her.
What was he being charged with? Like what did he do to get in that?
I think it was robbery.
Oh,
Nah,
he's like
nah.
he's like a career criminal.
He
Do you think he
didn't do
pickpocketed-
nothing. Plus,
You know, it would have been-
you can't... robbery, come on, Dev. In California, you can't rob anyone in California.
That's
to be
true.
fair, if you make
You
robbery
can't.
legal, if you make robbery legal, then you literally can't rob people at
my
first.
God. Okay, this is the reason why he did it. They charged him with robbery in a state where there is no such crime as robbery. No wonder he was a little bit peeved about this. Like, he was probably caught with, like, you know, he was walking out of the store, as you do, with, what, $500 worth, and the cops put another $500 on him. It's like, now it's robbery, $1,000. And he's
You know,
like, you
like, that
planted that on me.
That is I will make a video of that, Tash. That is such a genius idea. You know, like cops used to plant marijuana, now
Yep.
they will plant money on you.
They plant a
you're
little
going in-
bag of cocaine. It's like, wow, that's 5 years in jail,
No.
sucker.
Like listen. He steals $500 and the cops plant another 500. Just
Yep, they just shove a $500 bill down his pocket. It's like, now it's theft. It's like, you can't do that. Watch me. Yeah, no, I maintain my position that was probably self-defense.
Service guarantees citizenship.
Deathend says V forgets Spike tried to grape Buffy in show. He probably did, but then he succeeded in not graping her and just sexing her instead, because Buffy was like, Spike, you're weird, and we should have sex now. I remember that.
Oh my God, Arch, look at this link. I put it in the link channel. Man who brazenly attacked judge during sentencing said he was having a bad day.
Well, there you motherfucking go. I mean, can anyone argue the opposite? Like, he was clearly having a bad day, and the judge was being a bit of a bastard to him, okay? You know?
Heresy's the
What can you
question.
do?
Fire is the answer.
What can you do? So John says, Otoya Yamaguchi. Otoya Yamaguchi. Who the hell is that? Google. Ah, the guy who solved communism in Japan.
Do you know that there actually was a store in California which made everything cost $1,000? And once you bought the thing, you would have a coupon which redeemed your purchase for what it was actually worth.
Yeah. No, that's one way of solving it.
Yeah. Like basically, if you took a pack of gum, it was like $1,000 worth of gum. So you had to go to the front
Heresy's
end,
the question.
get a
Fire
voucher,
is the
which
answer.
would redeem the gum like for 99% of its cost. And if someone tried to steal the gum, then they stole $1,000 worth of goods, and the police could arrest them.
Yep. It's
Oh,
a
so
valuable lesson.
I found the charges. So he did have a bunch of like a string of robberies, but this time he was in for attempted battery.
Attempted battery.
Yeah.
Mm.
Was he a
Yes, he failed.
Democrat?
Didn't even
Dev?
succeed.
Was
He
he?
failed.
Was he a Democrat? Dev? Was he one of your people?
I don't fuck you, V.
A
No,
Democrat.
you
He
can't
was one
just
of your people. I
collectivize
think-
shit like that, V.
Yeah, I can't. Watch me. I'm going
No.
to do it from now on. What do you mean I can't? I literally did.
I reject. That's
I don't care
retarded.
what you reject. No. If
Yes,
it's a Democrat,
that's-
it's one of
that's
your
ret-
people, Dev.
No,
Literally,
no, I do not claim.
100%. 100%.
I'm not black, V. I'm not
I
black. It's
don't
not my
fucking
people.
care. I'm not accusing you of being black. I'm accusing you of being a Democrat, Dev. There's a difference.
I can't be a
I know
Democrat. I'm a
there's an
Canadian.
overlap. I know there's a fucking overlap between these
I'm
two
a Canadian. I can't be a Democrat.
A Democrat
can.
would assault the judge.
It would. He would totally assault that judge.
Also, I'm voting
You're voting for
conservative.
Trudeau.
I'm
Oh,
voting
fuck off. You're
conservative
voting
in
Trudeau.
Canada.
Wait,
Thank you very
I know
much.
you're voting Trudeau. Like the moment you're in that box and no
Nope.
one gets to see you, you're putting that
Nope.
stamp on Trudeau.
Nope.
Yeah, but
I'm going full Polyev. Thank you very much.
there is no way you can persuade me of this, Dev. Unless, like, when you vote, I want you to take a picture of the stamp and when you place the vote.
Fine, we'll do. I'll bring my phone, and I'll go into the voting booth, and you'll
You need to
see
be
me.
like the cringe person with a thumbs up as well, so I know
Yep.
that it's you. It needs to
I'll
be a
soy
fat
face.
finger,
I'll do a soy face.
It needs to be
okay?
a fat finger.
Mark Deshamed says, time to make Disney feel uncomfortable. It is always time to make Disney feel uncomfortable. Nicholas Christoph, is it cancel culture when the woman takes a golden handshake as she leaves her position only to enter a new position of almost equal standing? Well, it's an attempt. See, this is just politics. You can never really cancel politicians or people who are already in the elite power structure. They'll merely just reassign themselves. But at least it's something. And Artemis Fowl says, Arch, show chat that Destiny thing. What? That Destiny thing? You can't just speak these words at me and expect me to understand. And Raining Terror, unfortunately, Archley, I just joined the chat. How wrong was the red woman and how correct was V today? Well, the little red bridge across which communism flows admitted that he's voting for Biden. He's riding with Biden, so that's pretty
I
pretty
can't
bad.
even vote for Biden, Arch.
You'd like to vote for Biden to be a Democrat. Okay,
A
listen.
Democrat.
If you agree with the Democrats' principles, it is okay in common language to call a person a Democrat, even if they can't vote.
Hold on, V. I even said he's the lesser of two evils.
I don't fucking care, Dev. I don't care
That's
how you
No,
rationalize it.
that's not the
I don't
same
care how
thing
you
as
justify-
agreeing, V.
I don't care. No. Like, you can rationalize that eugenics is good. That I don't care. That makes you a eugenicist. Like if you go, well, it's the lesser of the. I don't care, Dev. No. I'm not saying that Biden is the same as eugenics. Although who knows? But what I am saying is that I don't care how you rationalize it. If you arrive at the point, you're there. See, I won the argument, Arch. Fucking won it. After
Fowl
so many
says-
No, you
streams.
didn't.
No.
After
Hold on.
so many streams, I finally did it.
Rusta
Oh, yeah,
Zero
so,
says,
hold on.
I heard Dev missed Naomi's beating today. Oh, Dev, you shouldn't dodge your beatings.
Artemis said it may be illegal for me to actually take a picture with the ballot. I don't care. I'm still going to do it. Fuck you, Canada.
Dev, are you retarded?
You
If
said I had to do it,
count-
V. I'm
No,
going to blame you,
like-
V.
But if I
You said I
tell
must.
you to jump, no,
You said that you must. I'm now
Service
honor bound.
guarantees
Sorry.
citizenship.
But Dev, unlike you, I do have a conscience, okay? Like, I didn't know it's illegal. So in the case that it is illegal in California, no, sorry. No, actually, you know what?
California,
I'm not
V.
sorry. Yes, I'm not sorry. If it is illegal in California, please do not take a picture of you in the voting ballot.
Yeah, we wouldn't want you to get in trouble in your home state. That'd be a bit much. A Fuzzy Creature says, the Eastman memo was absolutely illegally correct.
No, it wasn't.
Dev, you have been defeated.
No, the Eastman memo was complete 100% bullshit, and that's why Trump is getting fucked 6 ways from Sunday in the Georgia RICO case for it.
Matthew Correa, Dev, if I have to vote for the author of the
I have
94
lost.
assault weapon ban or Trump, it is not a difficult choice.
Yeah, okay.
Nicholas Van Neal, Dev likes Nikki Haley. Nuff's dead.
Yeah.
Paul Damick, Arch talks about gatekeeping yet fails to gatekeep Dev. Listen, Dev is not a gate to be kept. He's a toll booth. He's a litmus test. You know, we bring him around and we go, we show him off the people and go like, do you agree with Dev? If they say yes, well, there you go. Throw them out now. The DCV Titan says, it depresses me. Dev's vote counts as much as mine. It's a tragedy.
Yeah, but he's not voting. Well, you know what? Again, under Biden, I can't be sure.
Yep, you can't be.
I will have to wait to see if YouTube bans this topic. If YouTube says, like, if you imply that Canadians can vote in US elections, then we're going to take down your video. I will be like, you know what? I do think that they've voted. That's the rationale. That's how I'm going to go.
Hold on. So No Pants Baby says the RICO charges sure are bad. Is that why 2 of them pleaded out of the RICO charges? You know that they pleaded because they flipped, right? Like, they gave more information about the RICO case in exchange for a lesser sentence. Okay, I swear to God, chat, none of you have read any of the indictments. I swear to fucking God, dude, because they're wild.
Dev, let me put it this way, okay?
I have
If
lost.
the Canadian government, right? If you were running for office, and let's say like 6 months before, why do you go that passive aggressive towards me? What the fuck have I ever done to you to
What? No, I'm
deserve
being
all
passive
this?
aggressive. I'm listening. Yes,
Yeah,
no, you go ahead.
yeah.
I'm being passive aggressive. I'm sorry.
All right, listen. Okay.
Yeah.
If you run for elections in the Canadian government and like 6 months before the elections, the Canadian government starts looking into your computer in order to see if you have like any hentai of 17-year-old Duzaki-chan or some shit. Even if you do have it on your fucking computer, I would still call that election interference, Dev. It would be like, couldn't they fucking wait 6 more months? Couldn't they do it before that? Isn't it interesting, right? So I genuinely do not fucking care,
Heresy's
especially
the
like with this
question.
shit.
Fire is the answer.
And especially
If
when
that
it's
happened, I
something-
would come out wearing a Yuzaki-chan shirt and say yes.
Yeah, and even then, right? Like with shit that other people have done, it's like other presidents had like official documents that they took home and shit like that. I don't. Like, who fucking cares? You know what I care about? I care about my taxes. I care about the war in Ukraine. I care about the important shit. I care about having a fucking gas stove in my house, Dev. That's what I care about.
Okay. When it comes to the documents, first of all, the laws that Trump are being prosecuted under are the same laws that some of the same laws that he upgraded from he himself upgraded from a misdemeanor to a felony because he said that it's really important that all the documents be kept secure and we got to keep our secrets and top secrets important. So he fucked himself, firstly, all right? Secondly, unlike every other politician, everyone else, all right, Bush did it, Obama did it, all right? Other presidents, other officials, they all had classified documents after they left office. And the archives came around and said, hey, you have these documents. Can they give them back? And they say, oh, so Mike Pence did it too? Oh, sorry about that. You can have the documents back. They gave them back. Trump was the only one who refused. All right? And now we have like text messages, but while Trump is refusing the feds, At the same time, he's texting his guy at Mar-a-Lago saying, "Hey, can you take those documents downstairs and like hide them and put them behind a door and like buy a lock for the door? Like, can you like we have him dead to rights on the documents case. He is fucked. He actually broke the law. It's not all trumped up. It's not made up.
Vote for him.
Actually did it.
And not only that, I hope he gets the Secret Service in prison with him, and he's going to run the fucking nation from inside the prison.
That'd be hilarious. But no, he's fucked, man. He's fucked. Hold on, like someone in the chat says, he's the president. They're his documents. He's not the president, is he? He hasn't been since 2020. They approached him in 2021 and said, give back the documents. And he's like, I don't have any, dude. While he's telling, and at the same time going behind their back and saying, hide the documents. Like, no, we have him. We have him with mens rea. Like, he's fucked. He's done.
No one cares. Says Dev, the Democrat.
Yes.
V says Dev, the Democrat.
We says Dev, the person interested in justice.
Democrats. Dethan says Dev not red, but green, like the Green Book. I don't know what that is. Artemis Fowl, Dev will pick neocons and neolibs who bombed 7 countries in 5 years and created the migrant crisis in ISIS because he doesn't like mean tweets.
No,
Dev.
No, it is solely because of the Eastman memo.
Service guarantee.
Oh yeah, Sanenko says Obama didn't do it. Fuck up. Biden literally stole documents. They all gave them back. This is why Trump's getting fucked. If Trump had the documents and he just said, "Oh my bad, dude, I'll give them back," like every other politician did, he wouldn't be getting fucked. But he kept saying, "I don't have them." He kept lying, and now he's fucked. All right, that's the difference.
That you believe that the documents are so fucking important when there's a war in Ukraine, thanks to the incompetence of the dementia-ridden current president, amuses me to no avail. The economy was better under Trump. Crime was lower under Trump. Life was better for everyone around the Western world under Trump. But the documents, I don't fucking care. I genuinely don't.
You don't have to care. Hold on, you don't have to care. But if you can't keep state secrets properly, you don't deserve to be president. Simple as that.
Yes, you do. You can literally vote for a person that's within the prison of the United States. It has happened historically.
Sure. And you know what? Maybe he'll win from prison, and that'll be a funny situation to see. But no, in my opinion, he is not fit to be president.
Well, I don't care what your Canadian opinion is. Like, you think that Biden.
You're right. I'm Canadian, so I can't vote. So you can't call me a Democrat.
Democrat, actually.
I literally can't call you a Democrat.
If Trump loses, says Sujad, it'll be because the Dems steal it. Raining Tenor says, Red woman sees Brandon destroying the American economy, making everything worse, and says, I'll vote for him. He's a Trudeau supporter through and through. He is indeed.
I'm not voting for Trudeau. Trudeau.
You have voted for Trudeau. Don't give me that shit. It's like,
yeah, I did in 2015. Yes,
okay,
I
so
wouldn't
after
now.
Fucking your country, you have a little bit of remorse. You know, I appreciate the fact that there's some humanity in there.
So you can go back and watch like 2013 era Trudeau give speeches. He sounded pretty good, right? And I voted for Trudeau in 2015, and I didn't vote for him in 2021. I didn't vote for him in any of the other elections, and I'm not going to vote for him this time. Simple as that, right? Also, Kellen, someone in the chat says you can declassify any document as president. Dev, Trump didn't declassify them. Like, are you retarded? Trump didn't declassify them. Arch, you heard the video where Trump's like, I have these declassified documents. Do you want to see them? Like, I showed you that 6 months ago, Arch, and you're like, wow, this actually looks bad. Like, no, Trump's fucked. Trump is a fucking clown.
Again, is the fact that you give a shit about documents when they're trying to take my gas stove away. That's what really bewilders me.
Okay, V, who is trying to come to Romania and take your gas stove?
The European Union, Dev.
That's probably
And how is that related to Trump? How is that fucking related to Trump?
Well, Trump might destroy them, and I would like him for it.
Yes.
Please, America, invade Europe, end the European Union.
Yes. No,
it's Germany. It's the third. It's another German effort. They went through the Low Countries a third time. We must stop them.
Unironically, if the European Union diverts resources into fucking with America, that's less resources diverted into fucking with Romania. It's for the chest, then.
Unironically, though, this is the third time the Germans have gone through Belgium. I'm wondering if Belgium isn't the problem. Perhaps if we nuke Belgium.
keep in mind, Arch, Belgium is the only place where a muon has affected an election.
Oof, okay. Nuke Belgium. Nuke Belgium. Talian Hayabusa says, Dev, did you look into the mass mail-in voting not being legal?
Yeah, I actually looked into that once he said that, because I mean, first of all, I looked into it earlier, but I decided let's refresh my brain, because it's not going to be hard to figure it out. I looked it up. Yeah, something like half of all states just have complete open mail-in voting. It's not illegal. I don't know where you're getting mass mail-in voting is illegal. Like, what are you talking? Okay, here. The three states that, no, the 4 states that people say should still be investigated: Pennsylvania, Michigan, Georgia, Arizona, all have completely open mail-in voting. So I don't know where you're getting that mail-in voting is illegal, but that's just a lie.
Service guarantees citizenship.
So John says, Dev, you'd vote for Biden. Your opinion is garbo. That is kind of true. Okay. Since Dev is kicking off the usual attention, I want to get to the last topic before Dev is like, it's the eating hour again. I must depart.
Well, to be fair, it has brought you a lot of super chats, Arch. Can't complain.
Not enough, Dev. Not enough.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the washroom. You guys can keep super chatting more Trump copium.
Okay, well, Dev goes to defecate. We can have a look at the other piece of shit that we were looking at today.
We should. Why is he being so antagonistic, Arch?
I don't know. I think it's because he needs to take a poop.
I'm having fun with you, V. Listen, V. I know you know this. The chat doesn't understand. But I'm 90% sure that you understand this. We're goofing around on this show. It's fun to, like, V, you poke me with needles so much, it's fine. We're all having fun.
Now he's trying to
I'm not
gaslight you.
upset. I'm just saying, yeah. It's like, you can be antagonistic, but it doesn't upset me then.
It's the
I'm just
gas.
wondering, like, why are you antagonistic? Yeah.
And the light.
That is a good point. Like, maybe he hasn't taken a shit, so the gas hasn't come.
Star Citizen.
Oh my god, the scam's still going?
Yes, and it's picking up speed.
You know what's hilarious? Every single time you say it's a scam, you're going to get people with buyer's remorse. And you can tell that they have buyer's remorse because they put money in the game.
Yes.
Listen, if you put money in the game, don't fucking DM me. I don't give a shit about your opinion. I know. Oh, V, it's not a scam. You're an idiot. Oh, this is actually good. Shut the fuck up. I don't care. It is a scam.
You know,
This
is definitely a legalized scam, okay? That, hey, if you want to get rid of your money, this is one way to do it. But the recent announcement is for a $60,000 pack. 60,000. Like, okay, if you wish to purchase this piece of Star Citizen DLC, your bank is going to need to run a fucking credit check on you. Okay.
Okay. What does this $60,000 pack contain?
All right. So the $60,000 pack is the penultimate. It is the biggest, the most grandiose of all the DLC packs because it includes all of the ships currently on offer. So there's 175 vessels total, which Robert Space Industries has determined to be worth $60,000. So let me just do a real...
No, hold on. Like in EVE Online, at least I would understand, right? I mean, there are people that are oil sheiks and they give like $10,000 to Twitch streamers. Like, I get it. You know, like some people can't afford 60 grand. But at least you know that the game is popular and people are playing. Like, do they have any guarantee that if they buy this, they're going to have a game that actually has people playing?
Not necessarily, because currently that means that each ship is valued at $342 on average, which is cheap considering some of the ships are already, selling for quite a bit more than that. But what baffles me the most is that there's no guarantee this is ever going to be a product.
Guarantees citizenship.
Like, it's currently in like in a form of beta-esque thing where you can kind of play the game and some of the features are in there. But I mean, the promised. Access, yeah, like the promised single-player campaign was, what, 2 years ago? 3? And still, nothing.
Like, I mean, look, I will tell you this, right? As a person who's making a game, I understand a lot of things that I didn't before. In order to make a ship, it actually costs money, right? Like, one of these ships probably cost the developer 10 grand to make, probably more, right? Because you need sculptures, you need them to be rigged. You need like all the environmentals to be added and then coded in. So like the work is probably expensive for one ship, but 60 grand is still no. That's just too much.
I don't know, what does one of these boats cost? The Javelin, does it have a price tag? It doesn't.
Like basically you need the 3D artist, right? And to find someone that makes tech is even more difficult because when you draw like a woman with big fat tits, like an anime girl, you can find a lot of people that know how to do that. But when you want someone to make you a tank, like technology, every part of that tank needs to have a purpose. So finding artists that draw technology is even more difficult. Finding 3D ones are even more rare. So the price is probably very expensive.
They're getting it back plenty. And okay, let's talk a little bit about the positive things, because there are, like, this is crowdfunding. Sure, that is absolutely the aspect of it. And you don't have to purchase these ships. Now, obviously, this is buying power, and no doubt about it. I mean, you start playing this on day one, if it ever does get released, which I frankly goddamn doubt. And you're like, wow, I'm gonna make myself a space guild. Cool. You're gonna be up against people who have had the entire guild contribute like $10 a piece. And they literally have a fleet of capital warships they bought. Like, people are annoyed at buying power. This game is buying power, the definition of the term, really. And sure, crowdfunding is also it's a fine argument, right? At least they don't have publishers. Actually, they do, don't they? I'm pretty sure they did take aboard publishers for this game eventually. Didn't they? Let me see.
Can you give me that picture? Because I want to make a video of it. I want to laugh at people who like Star Citizen. It's the highlight of my day. See, I'm a person that suffers a lot. You know, like I don't have many joys in life, and laughing at Star Citizen people is one of them. The few joys that I get. So please don't take it away from me.
And if this game ever releases, which I honestly, like, it's so far beyond the development schedule at this point, I think this is going to be pretty much an eternal scam. And the only way it will release is if the game starts really running out of money, and the developers realize that, oh, shit, we need to get this thing out the door so we can get one last final round of milkage out of it before it's all over. That is the only circumstance in which I think this game gets released. Because, I mean, think about the feedback you're giving the developers. The feedback that is given to the developers is they can continuously charge thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars for these things and never actually make a product. Never actually deliver the single-player experience. Just keep developing eternally. You want to see live service as a video game? Oh, it's Star Citizen.
I gotta be honest, I don't know much about Star Citizen other than the fact that it's been in development for 10 years or something?
Quite a while, yes.
Do we have a lot of people that have buyer's remorse in the chat? Every single time I talk about Star Citizen, everyone. And is there anyone that says Star Citizen is great without having given more than $50 to it? Yeah.
So hold on. What is the TLDR of the Star Citizen story?
It managed to become one of the most crowd-funded games of all time, but it's been going on. I think it's more than 10 years now, right? It's been more than 10 years in development.
It began in 2010. Jesus.
Yeah, they started releasing a sort of early access for it, but I mean, it managed to crowdfund over $100 million. At this point, I think it has the price of a AAA video game, right?
$500 million by September 2022. Jesus
and this is
dude.
Adjusting for inflation and shit. There is absolutely no sane justification of why this game is out. I don't fucking care. Oh my god, it's only no, shut the fuck up. $500 million, more than 10 years of development. You just have sunk cost remorse fallacy. You know, it's fine. It's fine. I understand it, but stop trying to gaslight me into it.
There is still no goddamn single-player campaign, which was promised years and years ago. The latest thing now is that it is feature complete. So the campaign is done. Does it have a release date? No.
Yeah, isn't feature complete when like they've built everything that's going to be in the game? They just now need to like test it and put it together.
No. Listen, when you make a video game, right? You got various features. Like for example, you can talk with the character, or you can pick up an item. You can these are like boxes, like picking up an item, right? Like that's a feature. Like someone has to code that, right? It has to code the concept that an item exists in the world, and then when you pick it up, it goes into your inventory. Combining items, that's another feature, right? So you basically, like when you make a video game, you have like boxes, and once all the boxes are done, you just put the assets into the box. Does that make any sense?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, it's got
Feature
okay. Think about it.
A feature complete is when the software has all of its planned or primary features implemented, but it's not yet final due to bugs, performance, or stability. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like think about a first-person shooter, right?
Mhm.
So like in a first-person shooter, you go around the map, you pick up weapons, and you fire them, right? Like a feature would be firing the weapon, and then the concept of picking it up is another feature, right? So once you have like the concept of picking up, you can then add whatever weapons you want in the game. Those are the assets, and you can just you put them there, and when the player walks over it, it picks them up. But in order to have that, the feature of picking it up has to be coded.
Mhm.
And
Right.
that is one of the issues here, that they just keep adding features. They're working on base building now, apparently,
Yeah.
allegedly. Like, you shouldn't be doing this until you're done with the things you've promised. And even now, the feature complete single player campaign, God only knows if that's true, right? God only knows if that's true. The one like redeeming grace too is like I have very hard time finding much in the way of redeeming things for this game. It's the one good thing is that when it is eventually released, when they do run out of money, the rest of us can pick it up and play it. And hopefully then it'll be good. And then we can grind our happy little asses off for earning the various ships in-game rather than spending $60,000 on them.
Here's another question. Is there anyone that actually bought? Just because something exists for sale doesn't necessarily mean that people buy it.
Oh, Star Citizen has earned a crap load of money. And they're still earning a crap load of money to this day, so
but
people
like,
are buying them.
Yeah. No. I'm talking about like the 60 grand pack.
Well, I don't know.
Right, because that's the thing. I mean, just because something is for sale, I have seen DLCs like that were jokes. Like I think like there was like $1 million DLC or some shit, and you got like
Sure.
a bunker to protect you from the zombie apocalypse.
This is definitely not a joke.
I mean, I think if someone actually bought that, then the developers would do it. I forgot like which game it was. I think it was that one with the zombies. Forgot the name of it. That you could do parkour.
That doesn't narrow it down, V.
Yeah, you could do parkour and stuff. But they had a DLC where you'd get like a bunker, like an actual bunker in the United States, right? And I think like they didn't expect anyone to buy that DLC. So this may be a similar case. I mean,
Possibly, but I don't think so. Like, this is a pretty scrupulous company, because I want to point out one thing as well. Once you've bought one of these ships for thousands of dollars, so some of the individual ships cost like thousands of dollars, right? Well, if these ships get destroyed, they're destroyed. Unless you pay in-game insurance
guarantees citizenship.
on them as well. As there are indeed packs that come with 24-month insurance. So, I mean, I'm presuming you can probably, pay in-game currency to rebuild them. I hope. But yeah, if the things exploded, worst case scenario, it might be gone. I'm hoping it's not that ridiculous, because that would be truly absurd. But this is obviously another way to keep the economy in-game flowing, because if you can purchase the biggest ships in the game and thus immediately become the biggest boy on the block, like you can spawn in at level 1 and buy yourself a fucking battleship or whatever, and then just go to the newbie zone and go, hey, boom. You're going to need a way to drain people of resources, because otherwise nothing in the universe will have value whatsoever. Like, if it takes you a year to grind up to a battleship and some dude unlocks it in 5 minutes with a credit card, it's going to fucking ruin the in-game economy.
Yeah, it's pay to win in that situation, isn't it?
Very much so. It is playable right now, though. I will point that out. It's not a completely empty product. There is an early access, like game mode, that is currently active, where you can do a couple things. You can fly on some planets. You can do some space mining. I hope there's some missions or something. God only knows. But it is not a functional product. And it is... How old is Star Citizen now? Like, it's over 10 years, isn't it?
Yeah. It's I think it's like 11. I remember like it was shortly after Mass Effect came out.
Star Citizen. The game was announced via a private crowdfunding page in 2012. So, yeah, it's about 11 years then.
Yeah. No, it's ridiculous. Like again, $500 million adjusted for inflation. Like $500 million in 2015 was a lot of money, right? I mean, there is no justification. I can't imagine why it takes so long to make something like this.
I'm reading the Wikipedia right now. The launch of the game was anticipated in 2014.
Hold on, let me ask ChatGPT.
That's
Hypothetical.
that's pretty funny.
Hypothetical and purely speculative. Given what we know, how likely is it that Star Citizen will come out from a 1 to 10 scale? It's thinking. It's doing research with Bing.
Thinking.
It's doing research with Bing.
About it.
Citizen release date update. Visiting scofux.org development progress. Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, ChatGPT ranks it a 3.2.
Oh.
That it's ever.
Yeah, that's round about where I'd put it. It's not an impossibility, but it seems unlikely. And I want to point out one last little thing as well. One last little thing. So the $60,000 pack includes the 175 vessels, which is about $350 a pop. This perfect collection, including all ships released and concepted ships. So they're also selling ships that don't actually exist yet, but may exist at some point in the future.
Shit.
Hold on, let me ask ChatGPT something else. Imagine that you are a guy who spent $300 on Star Citizen merchandise. How should I frame this? So you spent $300 on Star Citizen merchandise. Would you be willing to increase the chance that the game would come out? If I were a person who spent $300, then you would have to take into account, number one, passion for the game. Number two, confidence in development would be severely influenced. Sunken remorse fallacy.
Yep.
So in summary, my initial assessment that the game would come out from a 3.2 is going all the way to an 8.
Yes. That sounds quite reasonable, honestly. Star Citizen is a goddamn meme at this point. And if it ever comes out, when I am old and grey for my fucking VR headset, and it turns out to be good, I'll be happy to play it in 2062. But up until that point, I stand firm in my opinion that this is a very long-term scam, and a very successful one as well. God help me.
Look, you got people like Sketch typing with caps. Like he's triggered. I'm willing to bet that Sketch invested money into this game. Let me ask ChatGPT. Hold on. This person is typing with caps.
You don't have to pay for the ships. That's true. That doesn't make it any less ridiculous, though.
No, but I love the fact that it's like, well, it's not a pay-to-win game because you can actually get, what people pay for.
Yes.
You just have to grind for it.
You just have to grind for it. And hey, on the bright side, like they're beautiful models. Don't get me wrong. I wonder if the graphics will stand up, to the test of test of
Yes,
time.
Arch, the snake oil is in beautiful bottles.
Yep. I'm not
Snake
sure if
oil?
it'll be just as beautiful in, 30 years when it releases, but hey, who knows?
See, people are asking like, how much did they get you for Sketch? I don't think like they paid Sketch to shill. I think he paid them, so he's shilling.
Oh.
I wouldn't even say he's doing it for free. He's doing it for a financial loss.
Oh, I can't help
No,
me,
no,
Star
seriously,
Citizen.
imagine this, Arch, right? Like you make this company that's scamming people of money, and the people that gave you money also shill for you. Like this.
I mean, it's a pretty good deal. What can I say?
He's got that ship. He's got that ship. He's got that ship. Look at the chat. Look at the chat. He's typing with caps. I have that ship, Arch. Sketch therapy saying I have that ship. 1 hour ago. So hold on. Like he is saying that he got the ship in 1 hour grind, and you don't have to pay $1,000 just play 1 hour. How does this work then? Like why are they charging $1,000 for something you can get in 1 hour?
Well, it's probably due to the insurance thing again, because these ships can be destroyed.
Yeah, no, but like, so like you pay $1,000 and then you never lose the ship?
No, like you pay $1,000 and then the ship explodes.
Hold on, I don't get it. No. Like you pay $1,000 real money, right? And you can buy a ship. Which
Let me see.
A player...
So, okay, ship insurance. Pilots in Star Citizen will be able to purchase insurance policies in-game for their fleet. This ensures that your ship will be replaced should it be destroyed or stolen.
So basically, like if you have the $1,000, no one can steal it from you.
Yes, so long as you continue to pay for the insurance.
So Sketch Therapy is writing in caps. No, I have insurance on every grind ship. Liar.
There is, yes.
Sketch Therapy.
Well, no, now you're making shit up. But no, it says that there is a basic insurance
I'm not making
at
shit
the
up, I'm
moment.
reading the
Oh yeah,
chat.
I'm referring to him. That there is a basic insurance on some ships, which requires no upkeep or fee for players to acquire basic ship loss coverage. There may be a fee to file a claim or expedite a replacement, however, according to their own website.
Wait, so you need a fee? How much money are they milking from Sketch Therapy now?
A bit.
I think like he used. Yeah, I think he used to super chat me, and I haven't seen a super chat from him in years. Now I know where the money is going, Arch. I mean, I'm not going to tell Jolma what to do with his cash, but now I have another reason to be upset at Star Citizens. They're like competing with me.
You can purchase, in some certain exceptions, though, on the wiki page here, insurance that lasts a lifetime. Once the game has released, the plan is for insurance policies to be purchased on an individual basis for each SIP using UEC. Owning a pledge that includes, say, a 6-month insurance plan will not automatically apply that same plan to any other ship that acquired in the game after launch. So you also need an insurance for each ship.
Chotomate. Like, is the insurance in-game currency, or is it like real money?
I presume so. I hope so.
You hope it's in-game currency, right?
I hope it's in-game currency, yes.
Sketch Therapy says, and again, this is written in caps. I think he slammed his finger so hard on the keyboard, it's got caps lock on. I only paid $45, you lie. $45, like back in the day, was like $70, wasn't it?
Stop bullying the poor little man. He's having a bit of a hard time. Oh, you can buy tanks now. That's cute.
Yeah, it's kind of like getting robbed. I would be upset, you know. I understand. Like, if someone robbed me and then people were making fun of it, I would be typing in caps as well. Yeah.
Can I see that one? Oh,
look, Johnny D paid $100. Should he be using all caps? Johnny D is a lot more composed than Sketch Therapy for some reason.
I don't know. If I paid $100 in 2012 and it was not 2023, I might be upset too.
Don't you fucking play World of Ships? Never mind, you actually get the ships.
I actually get the ships in that game, yes. And I get them back if they're destroyed, too. God help me. But yeah, like, Star Citizen is just ridiculous. But hey, it's people's own money.
One guy in the chat said he spent $700 on it. Oh,
See, now I feel bad for making the video, unironically, because these are my subscribers as well. Like if I go and shit on this game, I will get people sad. Like I don't mind if I get people upset, but I don't want to get them sad.
I mean, they're pretty ships. I'll say that much. And they've got lots of animated interiors and stuff. There's something to be
this is
said
actually
there.
a good idea for a game. Like instead of having World of Ships, you can have World of Spaceships.
Yes.
Could be a cool idea.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, it would.
I think they've already made that game and it flopped horribly, but yeah, it would. In
Did
theory.
they? I don't know if they did. But like Eve Online, I think. But like that's not what I mean.
Yeah, no, not like you, but they're like arena style. Oh god, half of these ships are concepts. Like God, I loathe the fact that you can purchase concept ships. That's just makes me a little bit sad.
Artemis Fowl is $700 a lot. How rich is this man, Arch?
Rich enough to make me play certain video games, but not every video game. There you go.
I see.
speaking of getting you to pay for things to do things, Arch, have you finished your Scott Pilgrim?
I'm still
pilgrimage?
procrastinating on the anime because it's really boring.
Question. I got a question. Have you seen that Ubisoft game, Skull and Bones?
Yes, it's terrible looking,
Yep.
and it has been looking terrible for a very long time.
Why is it so fucking difficult? Like they literally have the game, right? It's Assassin's Creed because that's what they want to do. It's like the Assassin's Creed. I think it was like Black Flag, where you're like with the ships, right? Like it's literally that. That's what they want, right?
Yes, and
Why
they've been
don't they do
making
that?
this game for a very long time now, and they never seem to actually manage to finish it.
Like what if it? And now, like apparently, you can't even go on board the enemy ship.
No, like they've downgraded the features quite a bit. Like I was kind of excited for the game to begin with, but it's
Yeah, you see, it would have been cool if they would have like first of all, like I don't want Assassin's Creed. I already played that game. Like, why not add voodoo magic and shit to your ships?
Why not?
Right?
I had voodoo magic and shit to your ship.
Yeah, that would be really cool. But no, they don't. Think.
So here's the thing, right?
Mm.
I have not given a shit about Ubisoft for a very long time. The
Sir,
only
guaranteed
game coming out
citizenship.
of that company that I've cared about is Beyond Good and Evil 2, and that's been in development for 15
Of
fucking
course, he
years.
likes the LGBT game. After
it's
all
not-
of the. Yeah.
No, V. Beyond Good and Evil 1 back in the GameCube was a fucking masterpiece. That game was incredible.
Yeah, it had
And,
a very
and they've been
dedicated
teasing
rabid
a second
fan base.
game for like 15 fucking years.
Yeah, I'm aware. They had like a very unhinged fan base that didn't really justify. But okay, Prince of Persia is the only game that I fucking care about this company. And now they're making a game, Prince of Persia, where you don't get to play as the prince. It doesn't take place in Persia, and it has rap music.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Oh yeah,
hold on.
it's a black guy who's apparently Persian named Sargon.
Yes, that is retarded, but I want to read you this now. Since I know the dev likes the game and wants Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond Good and Evil 2, a spiritual successor. Beyond Good and Evil 2 is a spiritual successor to the original cult classic, a prequel that will transport players into a profoundly multicultural world.
Yeah. Okay, so Arch, do you know anything about Beyond Good and Evil 1? Or V, did you play it? Either of you?
Yeah, I did fucking play. It was boring as fuck. It
was a good game. Yours was fuck you. Okay, listen. Beyond Good and Evil is kind of held up in its own community the same way that like Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines is held up, right?
Oh, I don't know
As an
about
old
that.
game. No, it is in its own way. It's an old game that is very beloved and it's kind of janky, but it was really, really good. And the modern sequel, the modern next game is just been completely hijacked and destroyed by woke nonsense, and it's also in development hell. It's completely analogous, the situations.
Kinda, yeah.
Here's the thing. Okay. Beyond Good and Evil was already multicultural because you had aliens, like you had pig guys and like monkey guys. And you didn't need to make it like you didn't need to put woke race politics into it. Just fucking race.
Ironically, like what did you like about that game? Because you're LARPing as a revolutionary journalist, and it's like a propaganda. Like what exactly did you like about that game that was so fucking good? Go on.
To be honest, I have to play it again. I haven't played it in a while.
Okay,
But
so
okay, when I played it, I loved it. It was like, yes, this is
The
one of the
Democrat
best
has
GameCube games
rose-tinted
I've ever
glasses.
played.
it was
And
left
you know
wing
what?
as
I
fuck.
am gonna play it again soon. Actually, I want to re-experience it. No, I like the world. I like the setting. I like the world building. I like the character of Jade.
Yeah, you get to
I like
play it as a journalist and you're LARPing as a revolutionary. Of course you like that. I mean, why wouldn't you?
it was a good game. V.
It may have aged poorly. It's possible.
Oh well, to be fair, I mean, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines aged poorly, but it was still a good game.
No,
You
it
can-
didn't.
yes,
it
it-
aged like fine wine.
No, it did
Yeah,
not. You
it
have to like
did.
mod it out the ass just to get it working. It's no.
Details.
Here's
Getting
the thing.
stuck on the second floor of the nightclub is an experience.
Here's the thing, like I still have it on like my list of top games of all time, but I understand it's from an era, right? And it has some problems related to that era, but Beyond Good and Evil is the exact same way. And it is actually a very good game. It is definitely worth playing. But
You know that if you're going to repeat 1,000 times that it is a good game, it doesn't fucking make it a good game. It's like,
fine,
okay, I get
fine.
that you
I
like
think it's
it.
a good game. Let me put it this way,
Yes.
V. Can I put it this way,
Yes.
V? If
But
you
I
are a
get
fan,
it. You don't
here.
you don't have to repeat it like a mantra.
I'm gonna
to
say
convince
I'll say
yourself.
something new. I'll say something new, okay, V? I'll say something new. If you're a Beyond Good and Evil fan, or frankly, if you're a Vampire the Masquerade fan, there's no good future for you, right? Because either the new game is canceled and then you don't get it, or the new game comes out and it's fucking awful. Those are your only choices. There's no good game future choice here.
Pretty much.
You know what I
pretty
think,
much.
Dev? You know what I think?
Yeah.
I think the reason you keep repeating that Beyond Good and Evil is a good game is
Mhm.
because most people gaslight, but you, as a Democrat Canadian, you have to gaslight yourself constantly. You just
Do I?
gotta tell you gotta tell yourself that Beyond Good and Evil is a good game every single moment. Otherwise, the gaslighting doesn't work.
Service guarantees citizenship.
The gaslighting doesn't work.
Let me put it this way, chat. Anita Sarkeesian like Beyond Good and Evil. I'll just leave it at that. All right. Like if you don't know anything about the game,
I guarantee
just-
she didn't play it.
she liked the game.
There's no fucking way.
Of course she didn't play it, but the fact that she liked it is enough to raise a lot of red flags.
But now,
Ash, did you play that shit?
I'm going to move on to the Superchats again.
When did I play it? I think like 2006 or something.
No, not you. If Arch played that shit.
Did you play it, Arch?
Arch has better things to do.
How
Arch
much
wishes
money
to
does
avoid
Artemis
this
Fowl?
question.
How much
Actually,
money
yeah.
does Artemis Fowl need to give you to play that shit?
Today,
Unironically, because
let's not
because
broach
si-
that topic.
since it's a good game, you should play the first one, and
Let
it
us
should be
not
a low
broach
price.
this topic. I don't like this topic. Chuck says it was Fallout New Vegas about Christianity. Was it?
Not really.
Was it?
I don't think so.
Artemis says, Arch, what do you think is more likely? Software on a vote tabulator machine being designed to flip that 10th digit on the hard drive, or undetectable space dust that cannot be proven to have done it? See, this is where I must agree with Sargaruni, though. You have no evidence that he was a magic muon from space, and it does seem far more likely that it was foul play.
If it was okay, all right. Do you want to get into it? Because like here,
Well, at the end of the
candidate
day, this
no,
argument is a no evidence versus no evidence argument.
It is. But here's the thing: the candidate that it happened to didn't even have any institutional power. There was nobody on the inside who could have flipped the bit for
Yeah.
her.
That's what
She
we
was from
call a
some-
programming error or a software flaw, which is why it was caught, incidentally.
Okay, listen to this, Arch. Okay, the game Beyond Good and Evil is set in a fictional universe, follows the story of a young photojournalist as she uncovers a conspiracy involving the military and dictatorship. The game's narratives include theme of resistance against oppressive forces, the significance of truth and propaganda, and the fight against a corrupt regime
See-
that appears to be...
The thing is, Beyond Good and Evil was probably a very deep and cool video game at that point, but playing it now would be like pulling fucking teeth, I guarantee you.
It came out in 2003.
Exactly.
So,
Like, that was an
21
era
years
in
ago.
which this shit was not a thing anymore. Like,
It was on PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube, Xbox 360, PS3, and also a very early Windows version.
meanwhile,
ChatGPT
You can probably get it on
Vampire
on like
Masquerade.
hold on.
ChatGPT is giving it a 7 out of 10 for wokeness. It's like those who are critical of what they perceive as woke culture might view the games focused on resistance and uncovering conspiracies as aligning with such themes.
Hold on, wait a minute. You guys, wait. It's the right wing that's all about uncovering conspiracies right now. Are you fucking kidding me? Hold on.
Meanwhile, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines remains an unequaled classic of absolute unequivocal perfection.
It is a very good game, yes. Hold on. It's $10 on Steam.
Dev,
You can get the modern PC version of it.
Dev, it's not a conspiracy if they're doing it in the fucking open, Dev. At least in the past with X-Files and Mulder, it's like the government is hiding the aliens. There is no conspiracy if they're...
Hold on. Someone in chat donate $10 specifically earmarked for a Beyond Good and Evil purchase. Then Arch will have to do it.
I don't think the problem is that Arch doesn't have the money to buy the game. It's like he needs to spend his time to play the game.
Yeah, you need to guilt me into it with a hell of a lot more than $10. Don't even bother, chat. Yasa says, as a centrist, Dev is based. Anyways, best 40k faction, Imperial Knights, and League of Votan. Wow, he's wrong.
He's not a centrist if he's a Democrat. Like, I'm sorry.
Hold on. Is there a centrist party for me to support, V?
No, but here, he says that Knights and Leagues of Votan are the best factions. The former became big later because Space Dwarf. He's making a joke. He's saying that Dev is actually cringe communist.
There are 3 parties in America.
Cringe communist.
You got the Republicans, the Democrats, and the Golden Party.
What's the Golden Party?
El Gringo Comisto.
The Golden Party is the Libertarian Party, you uneducated twat.
Yeah.
They run every election.
They're retarded, though.
I don't fucking care. Like, the fact that you didn't even know they exist shows me how far left you have gotten.
I know that the Libertarian Party exists. They're just irrelevant fucking losers.
Irrelevant fucking losers because people vote for the extremes. They vote for Joe Biden.
Biden's not an extremist. He's not a fucking communist. Come on.
He wants to take your gas stove. Like, what is not extremist about that?
Jack
he
the
prints
Outcast?
money like crazy.
Wait,
he fucks the Romanian economy by...
Hold on. Biden wants to take your gas stove? Are you fucking V? You gotta prove that.
Well, no, they were actually going for the gas stoves. I don't know what happened with that,
like,
but...
Oh, no, I followed that story, and people kept posting on Twitter the headline, Biden wants to take your gas stove.
Yeah, it was
and I guarantee that's as far as you went into it, V. But I actually looked into it, and it was like a low-level worker in the Department of Energy under Biden, and he said this as his own opinion, not as the opinion of the Department of Energy.
Because the Wall Street Journal that's pushing. The Consumer Public Safety Commission enlists in the crusade to ban fossil fuels from the kitchen. It was even on CNN.
Is the question. Fire is the answer.
Yeah.
That Biden wants to take your... Biden.
When
Biden wants to take it.
Okay, when people say Biden, they mean his party. Okay? Like, he's not going to veto the bill if it arrives on his table, Dave.
Dave.
I'm Dave?
Dave.
You mean Dev?
Yes.
Dave.
Did you forget my name, V?
I got so upset that I did forget my name. He wants to remove the dependency on gas, Dev.
Jack the Outcast says, Hail Arch, and V, and the willfully blind Dev. Fuck that warp squirrel qual. Because of him, half of the Space Marine army I built over 2 decades have been retired by GW, F-Call, and the Prime Headus Marines. Correct. That is the right way to go about things.
Hey, wait, the way that you're wording it, V, that actually sounds pretty based. You want to remove dependency on gas? Why do you want to be dependent? That sounds pretty good, V.
Hey, Dev, shut down your gas supply to your house, then.
It's fine. I don't use gas for my house.
NJ Gamer says, Arch, why not invade their own franchise? They invaded our franchise. Well, in large part because they don't have franchises. And the closest they have to franchises... I
have
like
lost.
the Scott Pilgrim thing I was forced to play, for example, or watch. It's barely a franchise. It's a collection of memes that may have been mildly funny at that precise point in history, and that's about it. It's incredibly cringy. It's poorly written. The story is awful. The characters they're not characters at all. They're unbelievably fucking shit. That's the closest thing you come to wokeist culture. There is nothing to destroy. They have no cities to raise, me lord. What shall we bomb? It's like America trying to blow up Afghanistan, and they just retreat into their mountain huts and screw their goats. Like, there is nothing.
But Dev, what if I shut down the gas to the plant that runs what if I shut down the gas to the power plant that gives you electricity to your house?
The plant in this area isn't gas.
Okay. Well, what if we shut down literally everything that uses gas in Canada?
Listen,
Would your life be better, or would your life
I
be
agree with
worse?
you. It would be bad, in fact. I agree with you.
It would be bad. So why the fuck are you asking me questions like, why is it bad for no gas dependency? Because they have nothing
you worded
to
it
replace it with.
strangely, actually. That's why.
I worded it exactly the same way that they're promoting it. You know, like they have PR people in order to try to promote it to make it look good, even though it's bad. Like when the communists created famines, like the Great Leap Forward, they weren't advertising it as it's going to cause a famine. Them. They tried to sell it to the people in a way that's pleasant.
Hold on.
Read the books during the time. You can pick and choose. You can go to China, or you can go to Soviet Union, or you can go to any other place. And you'll see, like, when bad shit happened, the government was promoting it as if it's good.
Artemis Fowl says, Dev, check your local voting laws. Taking pictures inside of a voting booth may be illegal. Good advice. Vogue, I am a democratic socialist. Ooh, Dev ArchCast 98. I hope his localization helps put the proper context into Dev's words. A democratic socialist. He believes in socialist systems that benefit Democrats. Silencio Steve gives another 5 ArchCast memberships. Thank you very much. Alquis Vortasis, Dev on 2020. What's the dividing line of government actors committing election influence versus interference and legal versus moral actions on that scale? If I'm lucky, he's going off to poop.
As usual.
Yep.
He actually did say, hold on. Like, what exactly was he trying to do? Like, show me that the Green New Deal is actually really amazing?
No,
apparently something's kicking off right now. I might need to go deal with. What was the question, Arch?
On 2020, what's the dividing line of government actors committing election influence versus interference and legal versus moral actions on that scale?
I don't know what he specifically wants out of that. Like, if he's asking me, do I think there was fraud? The answer is no. Most things seem probably like okay the way that it played out.
Do you believe there was election interference?
But what do you mean by interference?
Well, it's a very broad term. Russia committed election interference, apparently.
I mean, if we're saying like, did someone like print extra ballots and scan them? No. Is there a bunch of fake ballots somewhere? No. Did someone like change the voting machines? No.
Did the FBI favor one candidate over the other?
No.
They might have.
They might
but
have.
I don't think it mattered, to be honest.
Good enough, I guess. Ebenezer1690 says, is Vee a female or just identifying as one?
I have a squeaky voice. I should start smoking.
What you need to do is just teach yourself to speak with a deeper voice.
Does that work?
Yeah, it's possible.
I need to talk like this from now on?
Yeah, you gotta get used to it, though. Artemis Fowl,
It's
Dev.
uncomfortable.
Someone else pleading out does not make other people guilty. If that were true, the Whitmer abduction trial wouldn't have blown up in the FBI's face.
Very true. We'll have to see how the court case plays out.
2024 will be the year of the Dev v. Artemis debate, by the way, right here on this channel. Bring your wallets. Desert Hamster says, even in Serbia, opposition leaders aren't arrested. That is true. Even in the Soviet Union, they were usually a little bit careful about that. Artemis Fowl, I am glad Dev watched Destiny yesterday so he could update his opinion on Trump's guilt, even when Dev is supposed to believe in innocent until proven guilty. Okay, to be fair, there was one little Twitter change yesterday where he did manage to give you a pretty nasty burn, V. Dev, whoever you are.
Yeah, because
Wait,
people
wait.
don't give me nasty burns. I don't do shit to deserve nasty
Wait,
I have
burns.
lost-
It
Who,
just
who
doesn't
burned?
fucking
Did I
happen.
burn him or did he burn me?
When
he
in
burned you.
reference
You
to the
come-
Destiny thing, you were like, Destiny destroyed Aiden Paladin on the Trump thing, and then you
I
mentioned
did. I watched
Artemis
it. It was
like,
fucking.
step
it was
up.
fucking-
Artemis sent you
Yes.
a reply saying, still getting your opinions from Destiny.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
That was a bit
Well,
of a
first
snap.
of all, I'm
Wait, you
not
get
getting
your
my
opinions
opinions
from
from
Destiny?
Destiny.
That
No.
was a bit of
I
a
do watch
snap.
some of his
They're
stuff.
not
No,
like
listen,
Vosh.
listen. No, here's the thing. Okay, so Destiny's been like putting out a call all week for anyone who is knowledgeable about anything related to the 2020 election to come and debate him, right? And I was like, Artemis, you've been sending me all this evidence. Why don't you go talk to him? And Artemis like refused to do it 4 fucking times, and it's like, well, okay.
Barkimus. He's just a little Barkimus. You can't be too mean to him. He was born this way.
Hold on, zero fucks. Okay, Rob Noor smashed us. I watched that. That was like a okay. I think Ricada probably did the best out of Aiden Paladin, Rob Noor, and Ricada, but like none of those were wins, dude. Like Rob Noor went on a 2-hour schizo rant.
Reigning Terror says, Dev, if you worked in the government and you stole documents but weren't a politician, you'd be stripped of your clearance and thrown in jail forever with a fine that you'll never be able to pay. Probably. Boog says, we have him dead to rights. Why would Dev say this? It's what we call a deviant slip. We've attributed a lot of things to Dev. A deviant horde, a deviant position, a Devocrat, a deviant slip.
Wait, hold on. A Deviant Horde, that's right. No, Jeff says Ricada's going to debate Destiny. It happened like yesterday. It's already up on his channel, I think. But no, the more I look at the indictments, the more I've been reading the court documents, I've been looking at it's just the only way that you can think. I mean, now here's the thing. What an indictment is basically the government saying, based on the evidence that we have, we think we can prove this in court. We're putting our necks out.
I have
We're
lost.
going on the line. We can prove this in court. So unless they're just lying in every single indictment about every single fucking thing, and they actually have no evidence, which is possible but very unlikely, otherwise the indictments look really, really fucking bad for Trump. Now, you have to wait for the actual court case to happen. There, it could be the case that he actually wins the court case. Who knows, right? But just looking at the indictments, it looks bad for him. And anyone who says that, like, I've read all the indictments and everything looks just great, Trump's gonna skate on by. Anyone who says that is fucking delusional. And it's been my experience that most Trump supporters haven't read any of the indictments.
Again, I explained to you. It's like if
I
it
have- I
happens
have
in
lost.
Russia and
Shit.
like one of Putin's.
Read the indictments,
Great.
V.
No, shut the fuck up. Listen to me. Like if in Russia, one of the political candidates that's about to win against Putin, all of a sudden people notice, oh my God, oh look, he did something, like documents, and he manages not to compete because of that, even if the people would have voted for him. Yeah, I would call that election interference. And that would be like a corrupt system. In fact, like they did it in the Soviet Union quite often. It's like all of a sudden you have a person that's running and they have a chance of winning. Oh, look, they found something. He was downloading torrents. I mean, why would you want a president that supports piracy? That is horrible.
Perhaps you
This
shouldn't
is
have done
not
any
a-
of the things in the
I have-
indictment.
Yeah,
then, V.
perhaps you shouldn't have that. Yeah, there was a word that Stalin said. It's like, show me the bad and I'll show you what he did. Like, there is no way that you can find a person, right, especially that is at the age of 70, that has done absolutely nothing wrong.
Here's the
I'm willing to
question.
bet if I go into your
Fire is the
computer, I will
answer.
find some program that doesn't have license for it.
Okay, so hold on a second, V. Hold on a second. So your claim
God.
is that assuming that Trump actually did these things, okay?
Yes.
It wasn't just all
Yes.
made up. Let's assume that he actually did these things, okay?
Yes.
The very fact that they are investigating him while he is running for president,
Yes,
even
before
if
the
nothing-
elections. Yes.
yeah,
Yes,
even
before the
if
elections,
nothing,
yes.
before the elections, even if nothing's actually false, the act of investigating him is in and of itself election interference.
Yes, in a democratic country, investigating
Okay,
the
I understand.
political opposition leader that has a chance of winning 6 months before the election when the campaign funding is being done. If I see that shit in Russia, I would say that Russia is a corrupt country.
I
Even
completely
in
understand.
Romania.
Oh, wait,
I- I-
wait.
Even
understand,
in
yeah, I understand.
Romania, like there was a case, and they waited until after the elections to start the investigation process.
Okay, I understand. So does that mean that you would hold the same standard for Hillary then?
Yes.
So
Yes. If no,
hold on.
unironically,
There was
no,
actually interference against Hillary in 2016 because she was investigated for the email server, and that also it's the exact same standard, right?
yes, 100%. They should have waited until after the election.
Okay. So how much does that delegitimize a victory or a defeat in your eyes?
Well, was she taken off the ballot? Was she prevented from running?
No, but to be honest, it probably cost her the election.
I don't know.
Seriously,
I don't think that the investigation itself.
The FBI head came out like a week before the election and said, "Here's all the stuff we found about Hillary." That was probably what destroyed her.
I don't think so. I genuinely don't. It's not the same. No,
it's not the same.
And I will tell you why it's not the same. No, I will tell you why it's not the same.
Okay, tell me about it.
How many indictments does Trump have up till now?
Service guarantees citizenship.
I think there's 4 or 5 right now.
Right. So you would think that one indictment is the same as 4 and 5?
It depends on the content of the indictment.
Oh, I see. It's not the same.
Yes, it does. Well, for example, there's one indictment in New York that's obviously complete bullshit. Right? It's the Stormy Daniels one, resurrected from the fucking grave. Like
it's not just that, Dev. It's
when
not
you
just
read it, it's
that,
ridiculous, right?
Is it? It's not just fucking that. The man takes office, right? And immediately it's like, oh my god, the Russians hacked the elections, delegitimize them. And then you have like the whole Pissgate dossier and like 2 scoops of ice cream and the mainstream media going nuts that he's going to start World War III. And then it was impeachment after fucking impeachment. And then you have
There's 2 of them, yes.
Yes, there was 2 of them, and it's like, oh my god, like COVID cases, COVID deaths, but we need to focus on impeachment. And then finally, everything is over. And now, like, literally before he's running again, impeachments, indictments, and shit. It's like, dude.
Heresy's the question.
At this point,
Fire
it is so
answer.
fucking painfully obvious that they are going to try to use any trick in the book in order to not allow this guy to become president. They don't give a fuck about the will of the people. They do not give a fuck.
Hold on, though. However, the fact that here's the thing, in 2016, Trump hadn't committed any crimes, right? He wasn't guilty of anything. They were actually treating him unfairly.
I am pretty
However,
sure.
by
if they
nowadays,
would have looked into him,
he actually is guilty.
I am 100% sure if they
opinion.
would have applied the same standard in 2016 like they're doing now, they would have found something. It is impossible that on a person like for example, telling a bank that his property value was higher than, get the fuck out. Like everyone does that. Every single politician in DC does that.
But here's the thing. Like, I think that indictment went nowhere. Like, it's. I think that one's actually done. I mean, I haven't looked at that one recently. But like, listen, V. The difference is the Georgia RICO case is fucking huge. Okay.
The fact that they're using RICO laws against him as well. But anyway, right? Yeah, no. I know. No, it's fine. It's fine. Again, if this was to happen in Russia, and it does happen in Russia, by the way, this is like one of the way that Putin maintains power. Every single time you have a person, like they don't assassinate literally everyone that runs against Putin. But you can notice that when someone runs against Putin and he gets traction, all of a sudden, oh look, they found something, which he may actually do. Like, oh, he's got like a pirated version of Windows on his computer. Well, we can't have that. Oh, he didn't pay his taxes on this company.
Are
that
you
he has.
actually comparing these minor crimes to the major ones?
100%. 100% because it's the principle of it.
The principle of it is you shouldn't be breaking the law. Especially in major ways that make it so that you probably shouldn't be president.
It's fascinating though how when is the Democrats like let's say the laptop scandal, right? That doesn't get investigated before the elections. No, that gets suppressed in the media because the FBI just didn't know. It's like, well, they were clueless. They just done a boo-boo. They had absolutely no idea. So they asked, they kindly asked, as you pointed out, they asked social media, they asked Twitter, they asked Facebook. Hey, can you please like help our political candidate out because we just don't know. I mean, this looks like Putin. This looks like Putin, and it's like.
Actually, here I want you to lay this out for me. How did they ask? How did the FBI ask them to help their political candidate?
Well, was it in the Twitter files that they were asked to suppress the Hunter Biden laptop story?
How though? How?
What do you mean how?
Yeah, specifically how?
How to suppress it in the algorithms or what?
Yeah, no. Here's what it was. All right, you had one article It was only one article from the New York Post. Every other article about the laptop story was allowed to be posted. The New York Post one was not. It was suppressed for less than 24 hours. And in fact, you could still
literally,
hold on. You could still post it. You just couldn't retweet it. And
no, that's not the case.
Hold on.
In DMs, but you're wrong.
But this was only hold on, because this was only on Twitter. On Facebook, other sites, you could post it, no problem. And you know what? They immediately realized, oh shit, we fucked up on this, and they rolled it back in less than 24 hours. And then the Streisand effect was so extreme on that story that you're still here coping about it 3 years later.
This is not the hallmark of a liberal and just society, where the public institutions get to decide that the journalistic outlet should be suppressed for 24 hours, which is, by the way, the time for a news cycle. How about every single time you upload a video, I suppress it for 24 fucking hours, Dev?
That would be bad, yes. That would be bad.
I'm sure the Streisand effect will kick it up, won't it?
Okay, so why is it that, for example, other websites that published about the story didn't have their article suppressed? Because it didn't happen. And the fact that they rolled it back. They rolled it because they did
suppress. Zuckerberg came out and
the only article that was suppressed was the New York Post article.
Zuckerberg came out and he said that he suppressed it in the search engine.
This is your 6-second warning.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm out.
I'll let you go for a reasonable amount of time.
Okay. The TLDR is that it was suppressed, and then they realized, oh shit, we fucked up. V left. He actually just left. he peaced out. Did V actually get mad? I hope not.
Rusfell says V can call Dev a Democrat since Dems get most of their funding from overseas already. Remember FTX? I do, but the media doesn't. Papa Lean Crabs, I vote for Giant Meteor every year. It is the best solution to the problem we find ourselves in. It is true. Nick Korkdilus, Dev judging anyone's fitness. Delicious irony. Adam's Fowl, Dev, so when Trump wins his case in the court and wins the presidency, you will admit Trump was innocent all along and that you have TDS?
I don't have TDS, but yes, if he actually wins his cases, I'll say yes. I'll agree with you. It's like, oh, turns out that it all went through the courts, everything was fine. Okay, yeah. That's what the courts are for.
So Dev will admit to having Trump derangement syndrome if Trump wins.
I didn't say that.
So, Dev, I follow lawyer YouTubers, and they follow all this, and they broke this down for me, and you're talking nonsense, Dev.
Okay.
Did he get it out of his system?
Hi, V. We're going to keep going. I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding.
No, because
Are you okay? Are you all right?
I am all right. It's just that I don't...
Okay.
Look, it's not nice to interrupt during a heated debate. And if we can't have a heated debate, then just get it out of your system, and then I'll come back.
Well, what do you mean? Who interrupted? Oh, you mean Arch?
No, the chat. They don't like us fighting. It's fine.
They don't? I thought the chat loves it. I mean, here's the thing. The chat thinks that you're completely schooling me in every respect, and they want to see it.
Yeah, but like...
Yeah,
Arch,
but
do you want us
no. Silence.
All right,
both
there
of
you go.
Corners. Each corner. Evil Potato says, I'm just wondering that if Dev is going to admit that the Hunter trial is just corruption made manifest, like he promised to say, if they got a new judge when the first one ruined the deal, because I haven't heard it, or was he just lying? I don't think the Hunter thing has gone to another judge, so he kind of just got away with that one, I think. He was spotted at the White House recently, despite having some sort of order against him being, I don't know. Holding Hunter Biden in contempt for Congress is the latest thing. House Republicans demand... Yep, it looks like they still haven't done anything more on that trial, so Hunter Biden is still in this this vague, unidentified stoop of everyone knows he probably did something, but no arm of the government is willing to prosecute him, so he's just kind of existing right now. I think. Why You Hatin' says, not voting for Trump or Biden. Both need to share a cell with only enough food for one. I wouldn't mind that solution. I think it would be a fine solution to many problems. I think that would be a fine solution to most political quarrels, honestly. Gabriel Nartier, I do believe that Star Citizen is more playable than you are claiming. Very likely in a better state than Starfield, but the feature creep is real. Oh, it is playable. It is absolutely playable. It doesn't have a single-player campaign, but it does have a playable alpha. Silver Kestrel, there was an actual war that broke out between two groups in Star Citizen. 130,000 down the drain. No joke. Sounds like it's beginning to reach the levels of Eve Wars. Evolved Potato also says, Dev, an indictment doesn't mean shit. It's all accusations and one-sided arguments for why they are guilty. I have read the indictment and they are paper thin. The prosecutors admitted they had to stretch the law to apply to Trump. Stop making stuff up.
Well,
Arch.
you know what? Arch, you want me to reply that or not? It's up to you.
Well, go on.
Okay. Basically, now that I've done all my reading and I've been checking things out, I intend to probably make some pretty in-depth videos on each indictment. Probably one on January 6th and probably one on the actual vote itself. So that'll be coming out in the next 3 to 4 months.
God damn it.
And I will prove my case.
Good, I'm looking forward to it, but I also love how I will be making videos shortly, come with a 2 to 3 month fucking time period for you.
Dude, there's so much to this stuff, to be honest. Like some of these court documents, like hundreds of pages, man.
I know, but you're producing this shit in less time than it took me to make Vrux.
Well, you know what we could do, Arch? Since I know you haven't read them. Do you want to come on a stream one day? We'll just read some court documents together.
Dev, you're gonna have to pay me a lot to read court documents on a stream.
Well, I pay you in my appearances here.
That's not enough, Dev.
I've banked quite a few appearances. It'll probably be fine.
I don't think so. Now, we could return to that question as to how we do appearances on each other's streams. I'm willing to do that. So that you can
One of the
keep being
appearances will be
my slave here.
document stream.
Arch, I feel so bad for you right now. I genuinely, like, you know, as a person who doesn't have much empathy, I can't understand. Like, for you
As a
in this
person of color.
situation, for you in this situation, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. Jesus Christ, on a stream with Kordak. Holy shit.
Hold on. Wait, V, you're out here with all these strong opinions and you're like, I don't even want to read them.
But I
How?
already told you. It's simple. It's like I don't fucking care about the process. It's the principle of it.
I can recognize corruption by its smell. I need not identify its component parts.
See, Arch understands.
You have to understand these things. That's why I look into Safe Horny, for example. You have to understand.
See,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like the Stalin had a good reason to go after the kulaks.
He
and
did.
it made sense. And
They were stealing all the food.
Yeah, and it was illegal at the time.
yeah.
Right? And Dev is like, but look, like what Stalin said in the orders, is like correct. Like this kulak should actually go to the gulag.
Yeah,
Like,
there's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing in any official documents about taking certain groups of people and shipping off the camps in Poland either, and yet
They were shipped. They were shipped.
and yet
Them.
they were shipped.
They were shipped them.
Chuck says, Arch, get Rikita Law on to crush this communist. Ah, that will be the second stream after the Artemis one.
Service guarantee.
So
Saying
actually,
that-
regarding Rikita Law, I actually saw his opinion on the Eastman memo, and it was basically that because the Eastman memo, the contents of it, technically existed in a legal gray area, there is no way to know which way the court would rule on it. So trying it was fair game. However, to be honest, if you look at the contents of the Eastman memo, then you look at the Constitution, you realize they would definitely rule against the Eastman memo, which I think they're going to. But the fact that it was still up in the air, it's like it hasn't been ruled on yet. So if Trump had pulled it off, it would have been fine. And it's like, okay, but he didn't pull it off, and that's where we are now. So that was kind of the problem with his point of view.
We know that the
Service
American
guarantees
government takes the
citizenship.
Constitution very seriously, so long as it doesn't have to do with firearms, of course.
Or freedom of association.
Or freedom of association, yes. Lennon
Has
Church
anyone
says,
here? Hold on. In the chat, or
choke down.
either of you guys or anyone, has anyone read the Eastman memo but me?
At
the
some
only one?
point, Dev will betray you all, minus, well, confront it now and cut out the cancer. I'd guess within 2 years he does it.
Why do you? Okay, here's the thing, right? Like, we have our disagreements, and sometimes they're pretty serious disagreements. But no, I would never betray either of you guys. We've been together for too long.
That is what something a traitor would say.
Yes.
Yes.
But it's also somebody who isn't would say as well.
Like, why, yes, I would say that if I was planning to stab you in the back. Dev, go over there.
Yeah, but okay, who were the people from our friend group who actually ended up doing that? It wasn't any of us, so no.
I trust me and I trust V. Stares at
To be
Dev.
fair, I would think that Rags would betray us if I was to give a,
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I have my disagreements with him, but I don't think he would.
No, but it gives you the vibes.
I don't know about that, but I mean, I don't know.
All jokes aside, though, like what exactly betrayal would mean? Because like, there's nothing that I say in private that I wouldn't say in public.
Yeah, same here.
Service
Same here.
Like
guarantees
there's
citizenship.
not like,
Yeah.
and I don't do anything that I would be ashamed if it came out. Like,
Mhm.
That
the
all
only thing
depends
that
upon the cultural context.
the cultural content. No, like seriously though, like the only thing that we do is like we share news articles and have like opinions about recent events, and none of that is like betrayal worthy. So I don't really see like what do you mean by betrayal.
I mean, well, here's the like the elephant in the room. Someone just mentioned in the chat, Dev betrayed Scrump. Here's the thing, right? Like, I don't say anything. Same with you, V. I don't say anything different in private than I do in public. If you leak my DMs, there won't be some scandal that comes out. I will simply be mad at you because you leaked my DMs, because you backstabbed me, and that's ultimately what happened with Scrump.
Hold on, let me tell Artemis Fowl to delete the Artemis, the DMs that I gave you with Dev. Please delete them. Okay, just
Oh, did you share my DMs with him, V?
Artemis, we did not share DMs. Okay, if I get an indictment, I will put those DMs next to the bathroom. Make sure that they don't find them.
Nasko Nikolov says, which is worse, Starfield or Star Citizen? Starfield, definitely. Like, Starfield is just actual hot garbage. Star Citizen might still be a video game, and it is a video game. It is more of a video game than Starfield is.
I have lost.
Bon Voyage says, paying real money for ones and zeros. Insurance. Kind of. Nick Cordialis, I just want a realistic space colony without browns. Well, we don't know if Star Citizen will allow you to choose the color of your NPCs, but we'll see. Charlie, I hate Ubisoft for making Prince of Portlandia. Fuck my life. Correct. And Giga can't say that word on YouTube. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the blondest bimbo in the world? I did throw $300 in 2014 on Starscam. Rum and chicks would be a better idea. Yes, you can get a surprising number of prostitutes for $300. Evil Potato, you are just making shit up, Dev. Trump had a standing order that everything he took with him to be declassified. They asked Trump for documents and he said, come and get them, and they did. Then decided he didn't give everything and they didn't find shit. Dev?
That's actually just not true.
I'm just going to have to ask you to let that stand, because we don't have time for you to justify your position any further.
When do you have to shut the stream off, Arch? I should probably go get my stream started, actually.
Oh, I'm waiting for you to go like, Dev needs to leave now.
You know what? I'll go turn on a timer in 8 minutes, and so you can stop between 8 minutes from now and then whenever.
Jafar the Blade, Dev, defend the left by any means, defeat the right by any method. Ooh.
When did I ever fucking do that? That's such okay. I have
Trudeau,
more videos
Trudeau,
on my
truckers,
channel
Trudeau,
critiquing the left than the right.
Truckers.
I'll be back in a minute, BRB.
Hong Kong.
Rating
listen to
Setter
this.
donates $100. Thank you very much, sir. Play Beyond Good and Evil. Make fun of Red Woman while you do it. A very generous donation. I'll try and keep it in mind, because not enough for a full playthrough of Beyond Red Dead and Evil. But if anybody else wants it, I'll consider it. And if we have other funds for video games, I'll allow you to allot it to that as well. Just remind me of it.
Listen to this. MSNBC host cries on air over January 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's perfect. Reasonable. Yeah.
Andrew Schmidt, here's $5 to not play Beyond Good and Evil. And so Steve, play Vampire the Masquerade on stream instead. I don't want to. And here's the thing. I don't want to play Vampire the Masquerade on stream because it's an experience. You need to play it by yourself. If I play it for you, I'll ruin it for you. You have to play Vampire the Masquerade. I said years ago I was never going to stream that game, and I still stand by it. Only severe guilt could make me go against my ideals on this.
Fire is the answer.
Because it is an experience. It's a video game you must play and touch and hold in your hands and get stuck on the second floor of the nightclub to truly, pull it all in. Boog says, 1, no one wants to do X, it's a right-wing conspiracy. 2, happened once because space dust. 3, it's okay. It's happening and that's a good thing. Democrat Party. Amayasia, dwarves, cool. I love the high-tech space miner lore. Dwarves gay. Dwarves homosexual. Dwarves rejected. The exiled nihilist says, Tower and Wokus, they actually build things for the culture they co-opt. Gene stealers are the SJWs of 40k. Well, in that regards, you are correct, yes. Anonymous Fowl, the Deviant standard exists. I can prove it. Can you? I think that the point of the Deviant standard is that nothing can ever truly be proven, as the standard will move and shift like sand. Stephen Morris, Destiny and Benny Johnson should debate. I don't know who Benny Johnson is. Viking Kiwi, you know what? Let's help Putin, I'm presuming, take over... yes, because he pronounces it Putin. Take over the world, vote Biden so no one get in Putin's way. Hashtag Dev is Putin a simp.
Service guarantee.
Well, I
citizen.
noticed that a lot of people on the left don't understand how world politics work. And you only have to play a game of Civ to figure it out. It's like if you have a big army, no one fucks with you.
See, Russia
but if you have
fucked
strong
up.
allies...
Putin fucked up. Okay, he had a good plan. He should have won Ukraine within a couple of weeks. He didn't. And Biden was like, Putin, you fucked up, bruh. Now I'm going to have to ruin my country some other ways. I'm going to have to spend billions on weapons. They were in their Discord chat room and they were discussing this and they figured this was the best way to do it.
Wait, hold on. They didn't spend billions. They already spent the billions. They just had extras they were throwing over.
Extras.
Yeah, I don't think America was
Extras.
crippled economically because of the weapon packages, but they crippled Europe economically because of the economic sanctions and stuff. They crippled Russia even more. Like, no one takes Russia seriously now. It's like Pakistan level. It has nukes, and yeah, it's intimidating. But like, other than that, you have like neighboring countries joining NATO and not giving a fuck about Russia. So
Pakistan.
they completely run.
Just out of curiosity, so do you think the Russia-Ukraine situation will just stagnate into like a Cold War style North Korea, South Korea, where Russia holds some territory and they're at war, but nothing really happens anymore?
Probably. It'll be a forever war.
I may upset a lot of people by saying this, and this is like not what I prefer the outcome is. It's just like what I think is going to happen based on what I see so far. I think the Russians will have like the Donbass area and probably a little bit more of that region. And then there's going to be like a line, like a North Korea, South Korea type of thing.
Like a demilitarized zone, yeah.
Yeah.
Someone just donated, what is that, $20 for Beyond Good and Evil? Oh.
Still not enough. Ghostman says, I would debate Dev anytime. I have had multi-long debates with both far-left commie and National S that has gone back and forth for days. Oh, a multi-day debate. God help me.
Ooh.
Artemis Fowl says, unless they are lying about everything, just like the Crossfire Hurricane FBI investigation that knew it was a lie from the beginning, but pushed it for 2 years and tried to impeach a president over it, Durham report shows.
I'm not saying that like the government or the feds or the FBI, they're perfect. They have lied. They probably
Service
will lie again in the
guarantees
future.
citizenship.
But I do not believe that all of these cases are just bullshit. No.
I like that as a statement. I believe the government will lie in the future.
Of course, obviously.
It's very difficult to argue against.
But like
that's Dev's Bailey. His mortis.
No. Here's the thing, right? Like, we have many instances of the feds lying, but we also have many instances of them telling the truth. And so you can't just be like, because it comes from the government, this case is therefore bullshit. That's not how it works. It'll play out in court. We'll see where it goes. It doesn't look good for Trump, but maybe he'll win them all. And then I'll have to eat my own fucking hat on stream. I'll eat my Nintendo Switch if it turns out that he gets, if Trump is not guilty for every single one, I will eat my Switch.
And then you will
Crunchy.
shit it on Arch's stream.
Nick Corkidola says, investigate Dev's browsing history. Oh, for our own sanity. There's still the remnants of the dog pill in there. And I think Dev probably, he picked up a few things while I was investigating that.
Oh, guess what? Speaking of the dog pill.
See?
All right. I finally managed to, it's been like 2 or 3 years, but I finally managed to edit that video enough and censor it enough that YouTube will finally take it again. So the dog pill video will finally return to YouTube on the demonetized channel at some point.
You have a demonetized channel?
It's called Devonetized because I'm Dev.
Can you sponsor my video game on that channel?
If you want,
I'll
sure.
pay you. Yeah. But
It's not very. It's only got like 20,000 subs. Like it's not a big deal or anything.
Still.
Lord Valsey says, broken major laws like Hillary deleting proof, Biden abusing his vid e-press position for his son? ? Artemis. There we go. Dev, the government did nothing wrong because they failed in their aims to suppress factually true information.
What the fuck could that even be in reference to?
Viking Kiwi says, fight, fight, fight. I had time enough to make 2 new photoshops of you two.
It's like, okay, Artemis, I appreciate everything you've sent me, right? It turns out that 99% of it is bullshit, but I do appreciate the fact that you've sent me things I haven't seen before. But like Artemis sends me, for example, this 3-hour video from the Arizona Senate from 2023. He's like, look, they're doing an audit. I'm like, okay, I'll watch the video. I watched the whole fucking video. And I'm just like, this is interesting, but it doesn't say what you think it says. And the fact that after a year, no one even dared touch this report because it was later explained by the Maricopa County officials saying, oh, here's how they fucked up. It's like, okay, dude, all right. It was good to get more educated on the subject, but ultimately that bit of evidence, for example, did not come out in Trump's favor.
Still, the Kestrel says, Dev debates Styx Hexenhammer on the indictment issue. You should.
I'm still not sure Styx even knows who I am.
Yeah, but it'll be good exposure. Just, have Sargon put you in contact with Razorfist and via him go to Styx. It's fine.
I could just ask Craig about Razorfist, to be honest. Since Razorfist is on Side Scrollers like every week.
Mr. Twisted Frenzy? Yeah, but why wouldn't you just ask Sargon? You're in a chat room with him. Dev. Mr. Twisted Frenzy says, hey Arch, are there any 40k games that specifically feature the Death Court of Krieg? I don't think so. The closest you'll probably get is Dawn of War 2. I know. They released the Death Court of Krieg as a skin for the Imperial Guard like a year after the game was dead. God only knows why they did it, but they did. So they can be playable in there. Boog, Arch. Hey guys, can you read the Disney audit for the next ArchCast? Dev and V. No. Dev. Arch, can you read these court documents? Well, Arch. Dev.
Yes.
Dev. You didn't read the Disney.
I've got to go.
I owe you nothing.
Listen, not only do I have to do my own stream in like 20 minutes, I have to go do something else really quick first.
Dev, what drama did you cause now?
I'll DM it to you later if you want to know.
Oh, because it is drama. Yes, DM it to me later. More evidence in my favor.
Okay. Thanks for having me on. I'll see you guys. See you guys at D&D.
Artemis Fowl, Arch, you can trust me. And I wish V would leak DMs to me. All he sends me is his hentai game updates. He does do that. He does.
It's I'm impressed by the quality. It's like AAA. Difficult not to.
Sujata's Dominion Tank Police is on YouTube. Free and good. Scump still better dev. You still need to play Star Sector. I do, but it's sitting on my desktop. I've installed it and everything. It's there. It's just... So Steve, have already played VTM. You should anyway, for reasons. And
Beyond Good and Evil is a Beyond Good and Evil is a pretentious fucking game.
I have lost.
Pretentious as fucking yes, pretentious. The type of game that video game journalists like.
Oof.
You have no weapon art. You just have a camera, and you go around taking pictures. And like for the first 2 hours of the game, nothing fucking happens.
Mark Moonleg 2 Puss says, discuss what's happening to Georgia. I don't know what's happening to Georgia. If you mean specifically, I know they're being basically fucked by Russia, in that Russia is basically occupying that entire goddamn nation, etc., and they're slowly being eaten up by Putin. But I don't know if he does anything recently. I think Azerbaijan... Was it Georgia? No, it was Azerbaijan or some other silly country over there, wasn't it? That's been having wars, like Kyrgyzstan or... I don't fucking know. The weird ones. Going through him, I'll be generous and say dev as a midwit and not malicious. It can't be said you add balance since you have a commie here. It can be said. I do have a communist. Raining Tenor, Red Woman, you'll eat your Switch anyway since you're hungry. But the government always lies to everyone and you have to force them to tell the truth. Correct. The government is evil and corrupt. Azerbaijan and Armenia. Thank you, chat. And Artemis Fowl, dev, would $300 push Arch to play the Beyond game? That would only put it at like 400. No, still not enough guilt. Liu821 says, question for V, when is your game coming out? I want to buy it. When is it coming out?
Next year, hopefully. It's kind of hard to tell. Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. No. Sorry, my bad.
It was 2024 release
Yes,
date.
I forgot. I said
you fucking
next year
Star
so many
Citizen
times.
motherfucker.
Yeah. No, it's this year. It's kind of difficult to tell because it's like when you build an airplane, you assemble the parts separately and then you combine them together at the last. So like different parts are at different percentages. But hopefully
next year.
Yeah, hopefully it will be this year. The thing is, like, I know when it's coming out, but my publisher told me to shut the fuck up, so...
When is it coming out? Next year?
No, well, take into account that last week was next year. Like, that last week was next year, so... This is why I said next year. But it's this year. It's this year.
I think the strange. Is Dagoth Ur running for president in Ghana? I hope not. Does Ghana have presidencies? Does Ghana have democracy? I don't know these things. Joaquin Kiwi, forever stream. Yay. We'll see about that. And Mikhail Klasa, when is your next Ukraine update video? Probably never, to be honest. The update will simply be nothing is happening. Because that is what is happening. Nothing. And nothing will ever happen. It will continue to be a low-level conflict for the next 10, 20 goddamn years. It will be Korea, South Korea, North Korea. They'll just stare at each other for decades. Much like Crimea was before it. As I don't think Russia is going to want to take another munch of Ukraine anytime soon, just because it hurt so much the first time they took a munch. Right. And with that, we are through everything. So, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Thank you, V, for sticking out with me. And thank you, everyone, for your generous donation as well. And we'll see you all again, possibly tomorrow with some more Rogue Trader, as I do need to stream that more often. And, of course, next week,
guarantees citizenship.
as always, on the ArchCast. Have a very good day, chat.